He
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the most notorious podcast here on your Tuesday evening. Today, 2 days removed from our win in New England. So with us tonight, we have Raider Will down below me as one of our regular co-hosts.
What up,
All
baby?
the way on the other side at the very top, we have Leo, Cheeto Linus. Below him, we have James, our chapter president for the military chapter. And you notice we have two lovely ladies in the middle here. Down below, we have Rachel, the husband of Black Hole Rob. So she has joined us. She is the first lady of the Black Hole. And above her, we have our first lady here in New England, my lovely wife, Dawn. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, Rachel. Welcome, Dawn. How are you all doing today?
Thank you.
Well,
So, Rachel, I know this is one of the first times you've kind of been on a show like this, and trust me, we're so appreciative that you wanted to come on with us tonight, because we really wanted to talk about what this 30th anniversary means to you, and I know it means a lot to you personally and your family.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You know, and we're also going to talk about. We're not going to talk about the game. You know, we did win. We won 20 to 30. We won. That's what matters. We won.
That's all that counts.
Yep, we won.
The only thing I will say, I did appreciate Will's video of all the fans leaving the stadium because that's a rare sight for us lately. So that was good to see the opposing fans leaving as we stayed there.
And I told everybody this before the game started. I said, if we're winning midway through the fourth quarter, pay attention. Fans from New England will get up and walk out. And sure enough, they started walking out about the 7-minute mark. And I pulled out my phone and I did a quick YouTube short. And I said, there they go. They're leaving. And you can see them all the way across the stadium walking up the stairs to leave. So I was right on cue, right on time. So it was great.
That was awesome.
Leo, I'm going to tell you, man, the most beautiful part was that about 30 to 40% of the stadium was Raiders fans. I'd be like, bro, we had so many people out there that when the Pats fans was sitting next to me, they were like, bro, why are there so many Raiders fans here? Like, I've never seen so many Raiders fans in a stadium. And I said, yeah, man, that's just the way we travel. They're like, we've never seen any other team come over here and take over the stadium. Like,
wow, not even Buffalo?
Bro, that straight up.
Wow, that's crazy.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I would think Buffalo. Yeah,
it was. I was amazed with how many Raider fans were there. It was insane. And the biggest thing that Patriots fans were saying was, "I can't believe how many of you guys are here," because they don't think we travel. I said because they have this misconception of where Raider fans are based from. Because everybody still associates us with Oakland, and they think because you're from Oakland. And
right. They think you're from California.
You ain't got the money to do that, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's furthest from the truth. I said, Raider fans travel, and they travel very well, and this was proof this year.
They roll deep.
Oh my God, did we roll deep into that place? Holy cow!
That's awesome. That's good to hear, man. Especially, and you're right. Most people think you're a Raider fan. You're from Cali. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it was crazy to see the representation. I mean, you had Arizona, we had Canada, bro. Montreal, Canada, Portland, Maine. like people. I was like, what? I was like Woodchuck City, Massachusetts, or something like that. And I'm like, I can't say it.
They even left them wondering where the hell that was, huh?
When the guy goes like this, I'm gonna tell you like this. When the guy goes, "It's the Raiders," I was like, "You're definitely talking in a different accent than I know, bro."
That's funny, man. They even had Jeff and Don wondering where that was. That's so cool.
I will say, I from being a New Englander, and I'm sure you saw this too. It was fun listening to everybody that came out from the West
trying to pronounce them.
Oh my God! And I kept telling people, hey, on one of my shows on a Wednesday night with the guys I'm on with, well, 2 of them were going to be coming out, but only one came out. We played a game where I was giving them towns and cities in Massachusetts and New England area, and they had it pronunciated the way that we do here, and they butchered. Oh my God! You should have heard the Raider fans that were there when they were trying to name cities and towns they wanted to go to. And I'm like, butt up. I'm like, this is exactly what I expected, and this is just like comedy gold. It was great.
Here's Jeff. We're going to Brockman. We're going to Brockman. I'm like, where the heck?
Man, that's so. You know what? I'm glad you make fun of us. I hope one day you come here to California, Southern California, and I'm gonna make you pronounce all the Spanish stuff around here. Okay?
Yeah, but I
want to hear you say La Puente. I want to hear you say El Monte. All right?
La Jolla.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I'm glad that you know what. I'm glad you guys had fun, and ratio. Like I hope this like feels what we're doing here. How the black hole went represented. We spread the word.
I love
People were
it.
messaging me. I wasn't even there. People were messaging me left and right. Hey, where are they? What's going on? It's Friday. I heard they have this new thing coming up. And Jeff sent me the flyer. They're over here. They're over there. Just everyone getting together and representing the way they did. It keeps that spirit of the black hole moving for real.
And just building the camaraderie, amongst each other is just beautiful.
Yes.
So over this weekend, Dawn, we must have gone back and forth. Now, Boston is an hour away from where we live. So we must have gone back and forth to Boston about 5 or 6 times in that time frame. I've hardly ever go to Boston. I went to Boston more in this weekend than I have in the last 5 years. Right? So that tells you a lot right there. But so Thursday, majority of the Raider fans are coming in. Like Will came in with his crew on Thursday. Mike from Raiders Against the World, and shout out to Mike. He talk about the.
I just got off the phone with him a while ago. Yeah,
that guy is absolutely amazing. Leo told me, be ready when you meet him. He's like a tornado, and my God, he was unbelievable. He had more energy than I could have even fathomed.
More energy than Tasmanian devil.
Between him and Will, reposting and promoting everything, and man, did we pull the people in. I mean, without the two of them doing what they did, cross promoting everything along with us, we wouldn't have had the turnout we did. I owe them both such a huge amount of gratitude for what they did. Mike hooked us up with the DJ for the Saturday night party.
Yeah,
he got he got the Scorpion bar set up for the after party. That was all him. Everybody was thanking me when I got to the party. Like, oh, thanks for this. I'm like, this wasn't me.
I would have been in trouble at the Scorpion bar because after that victory, I would have just wanted to celebrate.
We were. Trust me, people were. I mean, I wasn't drinking, but everybody else was, and they were having a blast in there. So,
Will might have had to have carried me out of there, probably.
Yeah, that was all Mike. Mike set that up from the get-go, and he did a great job. That place was a perfect.
That was awesome.
Bro, that's the first time I've ever seen that before. To hold a victory, a pre-made victory celebration, basically. Say, hey, we're gonna go have a party on Sunday after the game, regardless. But the party's gonna be good if we win. Well, man, I'm like, I cannot believe I'm gonna go to a Raider party after the game,
right?
Celebrate the game, and bro, it was packed. I'd be like, you had so many people in there, and I was like, doesn't anyone else have a job here? But there I am, right? I'm right in the middle. I'm like, oh, shoot, who the hell's talking here?
Nobody thought about working that day.
Most of those people that were in that party after the Scorpion Bar were people that were out of towners anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
So you got to remember they didn't work the next day anyway, except for Jeff. Well, except for me, because Jeff's
Right.
disabled. I would have been the only one working, and I actually took the day off anyway. So, but
Jeff's a stay-at-home
everybody was
husband.
out of town anyway. So
Right.
Jeff's disabled in both body, mind, and soul. So
Bro, hey, you should have seen Jeff after Sunday. He just looks at me and he says, "Will, my knees hurt, my hips hurt, my back hurts, my shoulder hurts." He's like, I don't even know what body part doesn't hurt right now, and I'm like,
I think the only thing that didn't hurt was my thumb because I wasn't texting and playing on my phone as much because I was too busy doing this and moving around everywhere. My God.
Jeff, you just wait till Rachel starts telling us the stories of how long the tailgates really were in Oakland.
Oh my
They
God!
started on Friday.
Forever. Yeah.
They started on Friday
Yeah,
after work.
we beat it because we started on Thursday. Our tailgate started on Thursday.
My first trip to Oakland was a Monday night game, and I got there Friday, and I found out real quick it's a non-stop party from the minute we got to Oakland. Man. So I could just imagine how that was. That is so dope. Yeah.
I'm going to say our tailgating started Thursday because it was nonstop.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I saw the picture of Nathan. He looked out of it. He was.
The video I sent you. He's sleeping in the back seat of my car.
Mhm.
What's up,
Yeah.
Nate? I see you in the chat, brother. Glad you guys made
Hey.
it home.
So I know you said a lot of people were there, and I messed around with you a lot about Blake's, and if it was big enough. Are you sure there was going to be enough room? What ended up happening?
We went through we went through 200 wristbands,
Almost 200. Yeah.
almost 200
Wow.
Wow.
for that
Yeah.
place, and that was max capacity.
That was Max. See, I knew.
about 250.
Yeah, she
And
brought
I'm going to tell you like this, bro. There was a lot of us that were not wearing wristbands
Oh, that's cool.
that just
Correct.
walked in.
Yeah.
I'll be like, we had people looking like changos out the cage, bro, like hanging outside. We filled up the street. I'd be like, I ain't never seen so many Raiders fans in Rhode Island.
Now, mind you, this is how busy it was downtown that night. They had just started. This past weekend was the start of what they call Providence Fest. It's a month-long celebration of the city of Providence. So on that weekend, this past weekend was the start of their weekend block party festival. Well, the parking lot directly across the street was filled with canopies and food vendors, DJs. The streets were all blocked off. People were walking up and down the street. That place was jamming. So there was a vibe already going on outside. And then we all show up. We get off the bus from coming back from Brockton, which is another story we'll get to in a moment. We get off the bus from Brockton, and everybody's filtering into this place, but people are still outside, that were Raider fans. I mean, it was just insane how that place went from like 5 people inside to all of a sudden, next thing you know, boom, everybody's, butt the bellies and butt the backs here walking through the place because it's so tight. Then the AC decides to stop working fully. And the humidity just kicked in. It was warm to begin with.
But
It was
it didn't
a
stop
warm day.
it.
Yo, I was sweating.
It's not like people walked out and said, "I'm out of here. I can't take it." They stayed. I mean, people were drenched. Little did they know they were going to be just as drenched the next day at the game. But
Different type of drenched,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Bro, I look like I went 12 rounds with the Vander Holyfield, bro. Like straight up, like sweating like crazy. I mean, like I was like, dang, man. I'm like, good thing I drank a lot of water today because it was like crazy hot in there. But yo, Jeff, what I love about this is like you're saying, man, we're super packed. I think when we talked about it, we have Rachel here is like, yo, when you start the black hole or you talk about the black hole, it's all about that. It's all about building memories together, being in a family, being in a unison. And I mean, like, being able to pack the house. I know that we were talking about it before I left. you were like, man, Will, are you? I'm like, I told you. I was like, bro, it's gonna be insane. We're gonna have so many people there, and you were like, all right. And I get it. Everybody gets a little nervous, but when you saw the turnout and just the smile on your face said it all, man. Where you were like, bro, hey, I'll tell you like this, Will. He goes, bro, I took so many pictures. I felt like a celebrity. Everybody was like, Jeff, let me get a picture. He's like,
it was. This was before I was on national TV. This was
relax. Yes, we saw you on TV. We get it.
This was
15 seconds of fame, baby.
This was before Friday night. This was like Friday. I mean, this was before Sunday. So it was Friday night. People wanted to take pictures with me. I'm like, what? I'm like, all right. And then on Saturday, I had people telling me, hey, I follow you on Instagram. I'm like, wow. I'm like, really? I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't expecting that is what I'm getting. Right. Like, and again, that just goes to show you the magnitude of the promotion side that we did on this, that we got our message out and we got the Black Holes message out there that this is who we are. This is what we're bringing to the table this weekend. Let's go. Let's have some fun with this. And we did exactly that.
Hey, you guys did a great job, man.
I'll tell you what, perfect example was Friday. So my initial goal on Friday was we went up to spend the day with the guys in Boston. We were supposed to go to Fenway Park, but all the tours were sold out. So we were going to then had to figure out what we were going to do Friday night. But I had a plan of doing on Friday night was finding the hotel where the Raiders were staying, get everybody to go to Providence because that's where they stay, be at the hotel when the bus pulls up because that's right up Pete Carroll's alley is having the fans there. So I wanted all of us as Raider fans to be there when the team got off the bus and to cheer them on and let them know that we're here in force for you guys. The Raiders are here. The Black Hole is here, and every other Raider fan in the nation that could be here is here.
Yeah, there were a lot of fans out there.
Yeah, but that didn't come through. So I'm scrambling. We ended up at this place called the Tall Ship in the middle of the afternoon on Friday.
That place looks so cool.
Well, and I said to Mike was standing there with me. I said, we're coming back here tonight. This is what we're going to do. This was like click, 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 bang. This is what we're doing. We're getting in the car. We're going to go pick up the food out of Boston and bring it back to the house. So we went out of Boston while Dawn's driving. I'm making up the banner, and I'm shipping it out to everybody. And everybody got the word out for it. And we did a hell of a job. I think we had 60, 70 people show up on that last-minute thing on Friday night, and we had a blast.
Awesome.
It's how fast we got that word out that this is where the Black Hole's going to be. This is where we're going to be celebrating tonight, where we're going to have some fun. And that place was awesome. Ask Will. We had a freaking blast there.
Yo, next year, New England, be ready because that place is going to be rocking Saturday night. I want to pack that place from gill to gill. I want to see 1,000 Raiders fans up in there just going crazy because it can hold 1,000. It has live games. They got food truck vendors for everything. It's live. It's electric, man. We got to do it next year. Jeff already got it on the calendar. Let's do it. That's all I got to say.
Quick, a shout out to my 2 cents with the $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. 401 Raider Jeff representing Raider Nation hard on an away East Coast game. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. And
again, shout out to you guys because it wasn't just the Black Hole. Like a lot of the people that I follow and I saw that they were there, they're Raider fans, different clubs or just fans, whatever. But I saw them at your guys' events. Like they were posting pictures there. They were like showing where they were at, and I was like, man, that is so awesome to see all of you guys together. That was pretty dope, man.
Yeah. And I'd be like, the honest part is like this, right? Like we're the biggest club. I mean, like we have, Rachel fell off a little bit, but like when she told me, she was like, hey man, out of any sports team or anything like that worldwide, man, we're the biggest. So for us to just reach out and network with other people and work with others that want to achieve the same goal, which is unity and like growing the name and growing what we do, that's what it's all about, right? It's like bringing unity to Raider Nation. And I think what Jeff did with working with Mike, with what everybody has done before us is now like, showing us, hey, let's work together. Let's make Raider Nation great. And the black hole is really, bro, we're the main force behind it. And like Jeff just said it before, the first lady, the person that started it all, is here with us. So I'm like, yo, I can't wait to start hearing the stories and everything about how this whole thing started, the whole shebang of the black hole identity started. So I'll stay tuned for that here in a little bit.
For me, I never got to meet Rob. I knew of him. Excuse me. I knew of him. I knew who he was. Just being a Raider fan for so long. So I knew that aspect of him. And since I joined the Black Hole, I've done, a little bit more background and know his story and what his vision was and what he wanted to do with the Black Hole. And my biggest thing was not just representing my chapter, but I wanted to make sure that I was doing him and his family justice, doing what we did this weekend. And I know, Rachel, I'm sure you were following a lot of the stuff that we were posting throughout the weekend. And I hope that came across that way, that what we did, we did this in honor of Black Hole Rob. This is a big deal. This is the 30th year, and we kicked it off in New England week 1. And, my whole behind all this, I kept thinking is I want to do Rob justice and honor him by doing what we did.
And you absolutely did. My heart was just overjoyed with what you accomplished this weekend. And not only you, but so many of the other chapters, what you guys are doing and just spreading the true Aloha spirit, which is how Rob was raised, and the way he tried to do everything, within the Black Hole. I see you guys doing that now, and it just makes me proud. It makes me honored to have you guys as part of this family. It really does.
Well, and like I said, this is.
Yeah, I'm about to start crying, bro.
I know, right? So,
yeah.
So forgive me, but I'm standing in a Costco bathroom because my phone in my car was not charging. So I had to run into Costco, and I'm literally in the bathroom.
We need to get Rachel a portable charger.
Yeah.
My phone charging, but it's not working.
Yeah, I mean, the unity of all, like you just said, all the different chapters that were there. I mean, we had chapters from all over the country.
Yeah,
we had a few that came up from the from the East Coast, like New York City was there representing, Philly was there, Hollywood came up. Captain Jack was up here. There were a bunch of Florida, the Arizona was here, Nevada was here, California showed up. Will and his guys from Colorado. We had guys from Spokane that were here too. So this was.
I saw Peggy was there too, right? Her and her group.
Peggy was up here. I actually. Yep, and one of the things that happened leading up to the start of coming closer to this week was, out of nowhere, a friend of ours, LV Raider 10, that Leo and I do shows with on Wednesday night, and I have a show with him on Thursdays. He gets a Instagram message and he sends it to me. He says, "Is this real? It's the Al Davis Memorial." Now it's already after hours, so the city hall's closed. So I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm going to find out first thing. First thing the next morning, 8:00, I'm on the phone calling City Hall in Brockton. I'm like, "Is this legit?" And she goes, "Absolutely. The mayor's putting this on. It's an Al Davis Memorial." She gave me the full lowdown on it. I said, "All right." And that's all I needed to know. Hung up with her. I called Mark Jones. I sent him that screenshot of that. And I said, "We got to do something." He goes, "Absolutely." So he got the bus thing in motion. I started pumping it out there that this is what we're going to do. So this was like 3 weeks before the week of the game.
This was like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's how fast we put that together. And I am so glad that
I remember that.
Yeah, that we saw that. And because we showed up in force for that. So that's another thing that I think, Rob, if we didn't do that, I think that would have been that would have been something that he would have really wanted to do if he was out here for this game. That he would have, that was a once in a lifetime chance. They're not going to do this every year in Brockton. This was a once time.
Yeah, no, that was awesome, and I saw the legends that were there, and then I saw Mark, and then they were putting it on TV. I was like, man, that That's pretty dope. I saw Jim Plunkett was there.
Yeah.
When
Jim
I saw
Plunkett.
him walk in, I was like, "Holy crap!" I'm like, "Jim Plunkett." You know who else was there? Sitting on the front row, Jim Gray, former sportscaster.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah. Mhm.
And I'm looking. I'm like, "Where's that guy's name?" I couldn't think of his name. I know I've seen it, and then I looked it up later on. Yeah, it was Jim Gray sitting there too. So it's like, and then when it was over, Mark Davis is signing autographs. He's shaking hands, taking pictures. Jim Plunkett's doing the same thing. All while that's going on, I'm sitting on the park bench talking to Miss Peggy. So I missed all of that. So I didn't get to meet either one of them. So I was talking to Peggy about the team and everything. But and it was just it was a weird situation. My one of my chapter members, one of my executive board members, Dave Goyce, that's him and I holding that flag. We just happened to hold the flag up. One of our chapter members was taking a picture of it. Well, I didn't realize the photographer, the newspaper, and I guess someone else was there, took that picture. And next thing I know, I'm coming out of the game Sunday. My phone is blowing up. Like 30-something messages missed, Facebook, you name it, missing, all this stuff. And I'm reading, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, oh, shit, we were on TV. So now I see that.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, I'm in my head.
I saw that.
I'm like, that's like free advertisement for the black hole. This was on national TV. Afakazi, who was in Australia, saw it and sent me a message saying, bro, I just saw
because it
you
was
on
part of the
TV."
broadcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like
Yeah.
that really helps get the message out now too. That's like total free advertising. So
And of course, you guys were holding the flag. Yeah. Well,
yep. So that was just a pure luck thing that happened. I was like, that's amazing.
where did they get that picture from?
Huh?
Did they take that picture, or who took that picture?
Someone there did. I don't know. I had someone from my chapter taking a picture of us holding the flag up because that was the very first picture we taken with that
Yeah.
flag.
So they must have got it off social media or something like that.
I don't know.
No, they had photographers there.
Yeah. They were.
The Raiders had photographers there.
Yeah.
Man. They had
Oh,
all
okay.
sorts of stuff.
Yeah, there were news
So the Raiders
stations.
media.
Yeah,
Okay.
there were cameras
Okay.
everywhere with this.
That's crazy.
But I mean that's another thing because other than in the stadium when people hold up a black hole banner, that's when you see it on TV. But to see it at a commercial break at the start of a play before the play starts, that was huge.
Yeah, that was cool.
Hey,
I know we were looking up and we're like,
I was about to start throwing dollar bills at the TV. I was like, I gotta keep my money in my pocket.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just I don't know.
Man,
how they,
it sounds like Vegas has some big shoes to fill, huh?
Hey, so I'm gonna tell you like this. Jeff set the stage, man. It was a beautiful, like we've talked about it, man. It was a beautifully placed masterpiece by him. He went in we have a formula, as we call it, the formula for traveling away games and stuff. And he has a great partner, and I think, as I was talking with Rachel earlier, it takes a great partner for you to be able to do things in a club and have support and be through the things and grow through growing pains. And
Man.
so to tell you the truth, I mean, like Jeff, did a great job with going on Thursday. We did the cigar bar. We went into a nice place to eat. Then he had another place just in case people didn't have reservations at one location. You're right down the street to another location. Then Friday, man, it was full of events, full of stuff. We always were doing things. We had Raider Nation engaged from the time that they got there till the time that they left. I mean, like literally, bro. Sunday night, people were telling me they're flying out Monday morning at 4 a.m. and they are at the Raw party at like 10:30 at night. Like they're like, bro, I'm just leaving from here straight to the airport.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I'd be
I
like,
probably would have left the Scorpion Bar straight to the airport.
Yeah, that's how most people were. They were going straight from one location to the other. So I mean, like, he definitely set a big plateau and made a big splash in the
That's
north.
cool, man. That's how I remember it.
Call it
Being
what
back
it
then.
is. Just like James is gonna get his flowers right now. Yes, Gino did have 300 passing yards. James, you were correct. You hit the nail on the head. We got the W in Gillette Stadium, which is really all that really matters. Because getting that W, I think, was just the cherry on top.
Oh, I'm sure that made it so much better.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like this: the coolest part for me was seeing Jeff and his son at the game, bro. That was cool. Like what he would tell me, it took him 30 years to have his son go out there and watch a game. I'm like, yo, that for me, it's an unbelievable feeling. I've had it with my son, so I'm so glad you had it with yours, my brother.
Yeah, that was awesome. When we walked into the stadium, we took the elevator right up to the 300 level. So we went to the highest point possible. We walked to the glass, and I wanted him to get the full scope from a height, what it looks like to be in an NFL stadium. And that was the first time I've been in Gillette. I've never been in Gillette before. Last time I went to a Patriots
Hey,
game
you know what else was the first time? Us winning there.
No, it's not. Well, no, it's our first time winning in Gillette. We haven't.
That's what I'm saying, in Gillette. Yeah.
We hadn't won in New England since 1994. Yeah. The last time I saw them play in New England was in '94. Yeah. That was my very first Raiders game. Was in 1994 in New England in the old Sullivan Stadium. So I saw them win that game, and then I come back 32 years later. 31 years later. Yeah, it was a year before he was born. 31 years later. And see them win again. So it's like, maybe I am a good luck charm when they come here. Because I didn't go in the stadium in 2014. I stayed at the tailgate.
Where the hell were you in 2001 then?
Yeah, exactly. Slacking on the job.
I was laid up at home. I had just had ACL surgery done like 2 weeks beforehand, so I couldn't even really walk.
Hey, that didn't stop Kobe Bryant from shooting his free throws. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you who the real good luck charm was.
Someone who's not an athlete.
I'm an athlete. Look at this.
Oh, big sexy, yeah.
Save your dollar bills. Save your dollar bills.
Man, you know what? As someone who travels to away games, one, because it's cheaper, and I get to see and meet more people, and I like to do that. It sounds amazing that there was like stuff to do in an agenda, and everybody knew where to go. There have been times where me and Chona have gone to Pittsburgh, Chicago, New Orleans, and it's more like, where do we go? Like, let's go here. Let's check this out. Let's find out about this. Or we see a bunch of Raider fans, and we just start following them. See if we can get in and things like that. But to see that how everyone knew where you guys were going to be, different spots, If somebody wanted to do this, they can do that. Will was doing the whole sightseeing thing, right? The Doug boats, the Paul Rivera trail, like all that stuff you wanted to do. If you wanted to do that part, go with Will, right? If you wanted to go party, go with Mike.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that is so awesome for us in a way, and for all of us to do it together. And I'm sure people have like pictures of just like mobs of Raider fans in downtown Boston,
bro. Sure I have so much video and so many people, and I mean, like it's so crazy because I mean, like Jeff said, bro, when I was like, "Oh, you're with TBH," and they're like, "Yeah, TBH Staten Island." I was like, "We have a TBH in Staten Island?" Oh, dang, okay, cool. And they were like, "Oh, we have." I'm with TBH New York City, and I'm like, well, hey, man, now I know that when we have a game in New York City.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Hey, we got family there that we're going to come and we can be like, hey, what's up, fam? We got, we're coming.
You got the New York City chapter. You've got the Philadelphia chapter. There's a chapter in Virginia. Plus you got those booster clubs over there too that would be more than happy to help out.
Oh yeah.
Jersey Shore Booster Club is the one that Phil Villapiano started. 30.
There's a Jersey Shore one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Phil Villapiano started that one, and he was the treasurer not until too long.
T-shirt time. Shoot, I would join that one in a heartbeat, bro.
It doesn't matter, but this is the whole part of this was for the unity of not just the black hole every time we go somewhere.
Yeah.
And again, this was another vision that Mark has, and that we get everybody in. Like Rob's vision is, he started this to get fans together, and it means including not just black hole chapters and fans. It's booster clubs and just groups of guys that hang out and watch Raider games that don't belong to a club. Show up and help out.
What about the women?
Yeah,
women too. Yeah, the women too.
Wear black.
Well, yo, guys, we know we get the win. We know we went out there. I'll be like, hey, I'll be brief about the game. I guess we could just be brief about it, touch on it real quick. James, go ahead, bro. I know you're stewing. Touch on the game. Let's get it.
All right. As we know, 362 passing yards for my man Geno Smith. Mr. Lito, Cheeto Linus told me it was going to be impossible, not going to happen. Yet here we are. I said we were going to have 300 plus yards, and he looked at me and said, hell no.
I didn't say it was impossible. See how you twist your stuff, Mr. Rents?
No, you told me hell no.
Flip your jersey around. I said if that happens, that means something went wrong. And you know what went wrong?
No.
The running game went wrong. So before you start putting stuff in my mouth, join my show where we debate this, and then I will remind you what I said.
Oh,
So flip that jersey around, get your shit together, and watch what you say. I didn't say it was impossible. I said if it happens, something went wrong. And what went wrong? The running game. You want to hear more about it? Tune in tomorrow.
The O-line went wrong. O-line went wrong.
Hey, tune in tomorrow, James. I want you to click into that show. I need to, send me the link, bro. Send me the link. I'm telling you, James, I need you to be hooked into that one. I need you to be hooked into that.
Other than Geno's performance, I thought Devin White had a really good performance on Sunday. I thought he really stepped up. He had a really good game. The O-line's kind of struggling. You know, Genty had a poor performance, but I really don't think that performance was Genty's fault. Genty got free a couple times in the first quarter. He had that one nice run in the first quarter where he got like a first down, but it seemed like kind of like after that everything kind of just slowed up. I thought Pete called an interesting game, especially in the passing game. It was pretty nice to see Geno air that ball out for that first touchdown.
That would be Chip Kelly who did that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! Yeah. All right. James, keep going. Get it done.
And then Brock Bowers still ended the day with 100 plus yards, receiving yards. Jacoby Myers had about 96 yards. I am getting a little worried about, and I mentioned this during the preseason. I am getting a little worried about Carlson. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just not, in my opinion, Carlson's some of his kicks, he's just not. Yeah. I'm not. It seems like every year we've had Carlson for like the past two. He's just kind of been missing more and more of those situations lately, and I'm kind of getting a little concerned about Daniel Carlson, their kick position. I don't think it's nothing to freak out about just yet, but I do think it's a little bit of a concern that he's missed some of those kicks.
All right.
And I definitely think had he made that kick that he missed, it definitely would have been a little bit of a different situational football game for us. I think we would have had a little bit more leeway, but especially with the running game, to maybe try to figure out another way of attacking that. But overall, it was just good to get a win. Good to see when the Raiders went up 20-10, have that 2-possession lead. Well, not really something most of us are accustomed to seeing it at that stage in the game. So that was just pretty nice. And overall, it's just good to come out with a W, and I'm looking forward to Monday night.
Let's go Monday night. Can't wait. That's for sure, baby. But, yo, I'm going to tell you. What's up, Jay? Jay's in the house, baby. Yo, so I'm going to give you guys some insight, right? Because we were at the game. So
hang on. We haven't done this yet. Hold on. I want to do this before we get too far in.
Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay, you can continue.
So we were at the game, right? The field was wet, man. I mean, like, honestly, to tell you the truth, the way that the game was played, I was amazed that we aired it out so much. I'd be like, just looking at the flow of the game live, man, I mean, like, I was soaked. So I can just imagine how slippery that football was out there. That interception that Geno Smith threw, I mean, that wasn't on him. It hit Bowers right in the hands, tips up, bro, it hit Bowers in the hands. That's what I saw. Or did I see it wrong? Did it? Oh, I might be wrong. That's what
You're
I.
at the game, so it's different. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so
no.
that's what I saw from my side of the field.
Yeah,
But you know, I saw a wet ball, but I did see when Ashton Genty almost did break out. He did slip. You could see that his feet just gave up from underneath him. He would have had 2 touchdowns this game. I mean, like I think he would have put that away instead of us getting 3. We would have got another 7.
Oh yeah, if he didn't slip on that play, he was gone because there was nobody on that side of the
There was
field.
nobody.
Yeah, I figured,
right
man. The turf
Where I was
monster
sitting, he was
got him.
running right at us.
Yeah, so his feet slipped out, but I'm with James. You know, I saw a lot of good things, a lot of bad. But hey, I'm gonna have to jump on that link tomorrow with Cheeto to debate this thing and get it while it's hot because it's gonna be for real. But yo, I believe it at this. I think the Raiders played a good game for the conditions of the game, and we played accordingly. And I was pleasantly shocked at how vertical we got during this game.
Can I just say one thing about this team Sunday? When was the last time we saw our team confidently march down the field on the opening drive and score and run plays like they did and score the way that they did? I mean, that touchdown pass was literally right in front of me, right in the corner of the end zone. I mean, that was both touchdowns were in the end zone.
Was I the only one holding the breath, making sure Tucker didn't bobble it?
No.
Because of where I was sitting, I saw him into the end zone, but I couldn't see that corner where the end zone ended because of everybody standing up down in the lower section.
Yeah.
So I was just praying to God that the refs put their hands up and sure.
That was a great throw, man. I was just making sure he held on to that ball.
Leo, all I know is I was sitting in the parking lot and I could hear the cheering from both sides. I could hear the booing. I could hear the roars. It was hilarious just listening from my car because I was sitting at the tailgate. I was all by myself sitting at the tailgate, but I could hear the roar. I could hear the booing. It was
they left you all by yourself, man.
I was all by myself. One lonely little girl sitting in the parking lot all by myself.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I want to give you the floor for a little bit here because I can do this on this show and they can whatever.
We know Jeff can talk forever.
I want to hear from you what it felt for you this weekend doing what you did to help out. I mean, because in all honesty, and I'm not just saying this because you're my wife and you're sitting next to me, and if I don't say it, you're gonna hit me. I'm saying it because I'm saying this truthfully from
the sign.
Help.
I'm asking this truthfully because I'm saying this truthfully because in all honesty, as much help as everybody from the outside did to help us do things, there's no way I would have been able to do without you what you did for us.
She'll still hit you.
Yeah, she probably will, Mike. And we know him personally. He actually lives near here. He's one of my friends. So I just want to hear what your take was on the whole weekend, your experience, because this was your first party running like this.
This is my first everything. This is the first tailgate that I've ever done. This is the first anything that I've ever done.
Nice.
I was scared going up to all of this. This was something that was extremely overwhelming. Actually, did I have fun? Yes. We sat there and said it was an hour ride to Boston, but I can tell you right now, yes. It's not an hour ride. So it's an hour from here to Boston, but I can tell you right now, it's 2 hours to get from here to Boston because guess what? It's traffic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what Mike was telling me.
Yeah. If you take the wrong turn, you're going up and out and over and around. And when you're the person driving, because somebody doing this, because it's got to be entertaining or you're answering everybody's text messages, or it's got to be.
This is legit me in the passenger seat.
He's like, I got to do this. Everybody's texting me. Everybody's doing this. You start getting flustered because you're trying to get from point A to point B. And again, I know LB
Nate,
Raiders.
just call him Nate.
Nate can sit there and attest to this. That it's like I've got to try to figure out how to get us back to point B. You know, it gets frustrating. It gets overwhelming. I already told Jeff, I said, I'm on strike now. I'm not going to drive to Boston for a long period of time. Now, you guys are from LA or California or Vegas or whatever. It's like you guys are probably used to traffic and all of that. We're from smaller towns. I've lived in Rhode Island my whole life, so I know how to get from point A to point B, even if I do get stuck in traffic. But going into a city or, you know, a city that we're not so used to, even though we're from this area, it can get overwhelming and can get stressful. And then
Yep.
On Saturday, and again, these are things that we're going to have to start learning and starting to do a little differently. Somebody had made mention that I shouldn't be stuck behind the desk. You know, I wasn't able to mingle with, you know, a lot of people. I wasn't able to get out there to kind of, you know, be able to talk to it because I was stuck making, you know, doing the raffles or doing, you know, the bands and stuff like that. So at certain points, it got a little overwhelming and it got
I
a
can
little
see that. Yeah.
You know, so it's like I had to kind of take a step back and run outside to kind of collect yourself a little bit and stuff. You know, so these are things that, you know, we have to kind of, you know, work over and kind of overcome and stuff like that. Would I do it again? Yes. Would we definitely do it differently the next time?
I can't do this alone.
You know, would I want to make sure that when I go to look for him the next time, it's like he's always missing every time I go to look for him. You know, it's like nowhere to be found, and it's like it kind of like feels like it's all on me. And I still feel that way. I felt like a lot of this was like all on me because like he was nowhere to be found. You know?
Right.
So it's, you know, and I still find that.
You know what? I should give you my my girlfriend's number because she tells me that, but she handles it where like she knows I'm out there because I'm networking, I'm socializing to get more people to come to us, right? Yeah. She's like, go do your thing, and then she's handling the other part of it. That I have no idea is going on.
It feels very overwhelmed at that point.
Yeah,
still doing everything.
You did a great job, Don. It looks
down
like
to
it.
the point B, and it's like now you're looking at everything. And it's like holy crap! It's like there's nothing. Like you're nowhere. Like she probably feels like she's nowhere because there's nothing to show that she was actually there. You know? It's like, you know, I look at Brockton. It's like all these people were at Brockton, and I'm like, okay, I'm not there. You know, and it's like crap. It's like because I was back here getting everything ready for play. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, you know, or like everybody was in the stadiums, and where was I at the tailgate all by myself?
I know, right? In the rain.
In the rain, all by myself, staying cold. You know what I mean? And it's like everybody's enjoying themselves at the football game. You know, they were able to see Genty hit that touchdown. Me, I'm sitting in the parking lot doing this. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, would I like to have been at the game? Yes. I've never been to an NFL game yet.
Next time.
You know, I've never been. You know, so yeah, there are some things that I would like to have done differently.
So
you know?
Yeah, no, we'll definitely get
so as we talk about it, right?
Thanks, Al. I appreciate that, Al.
You know, I 100% appreciate all the sacrifices you made, and I got plenty of film of you. I got pictures. I know other people don't, but I sure as hell do. But it's an amazing thing to see you out there and just taking it all in stride. I mean, like I saw you at the party at Blake's. You were sitting out front. You know, I came down there, and I mean, like I think we saw the guy with the 3 Super Bowl rings that he had, and he's like, "This is what I'm here for." And I'd be like, we had so many people in there too. I'm telling you, man, it looked like there's even people hanging over her table. Like she was like in this little corner. There's just so many people that it was like overflowing out. There was people hanging out in the walkway to walk in. I'd be like,
I was figuring we need a bigger place. Yeah.
And I see Dawn in there, and she's in there with this little clicker thing. I don't know if somebody had a clicker, and then like and I'm sitting here. I'm like, hey Dawn, you know, half of us came in the back door.
Which was supposed to be closed.
Well, they had to air it out, man, because it was getting too damn hot.
Not the firefighter busting fire code. Come on now.
We pushed the code limit a little bit.
Bro, I
blocked
pushed the
most
limits to the
streets
max.
out. You were not supposed to be able to get in. That was the whole
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, they opened up the backside bar, and next thing I know,
Mhm.
the backside bar is like full of Raider fans too. And I'm like, hey man, I think I came in the right door.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you, Don, for all the sacrifice that you put out. And I mean, like, I was there, I saw it all. I mean, like, I know how hard it was for you to be moving back and forth, and we do appreciate it. I mean, we know that Jeff couldn't do what he does without you.
Oh, hell no.
So thank
Well,
you
like
so
they
much.
always say,
I mean,
behind
like,
every great man is a greater woman. I mean,
absolutely.
again, she got upset that she wasn't in a lot of the stuff. And I told her, I said, listen, I said, all the pictures you're seeing of everybody having a good time, smiling, laughing, having fun. And I said, that's because of you. So because of them having a good time, it's because you're keeping everything moving and you're keeping everything in order, making sure that, the people giving out the beers know what the hell they're doing. You're helping Dante, who did all the cooking. Hats off to Dante. He stood in front of the grill the entire day. The pregame tailgate cookout, and even when we came back out after the game, he was over that grill the rest of the day until we broke it down. She was helping him out, moving things around, switching the food out for everybody, and, making sure people ate. I mean, she was doing everything. She was like the big mother hen there, basically, just telling everybody, make sure you eat, do this, do that, so
Yeah.
everybody had a good time because of the direction she was giving everybody else to keep everything in order. Like, there was no backlog of people waiting for food. It was just coming right out right away. And I mean, it was just,
That's awesome. Yeah.
it was just, and in the pouring rain on top of that, in the parking lot we're in, it wasn't a paved parking lot, folks. It was a dirt parking lot with gravel, and
Yeah.
it was mud. I mean, we had a guy there, one of our chapter members, her brother was taking beer cans that were crushed and scraping the ground and building trenches so the water would run off and wouldn't pull up in big, massive puddles. He did that the whole time we were there, with a beer in his other hand and a cigar in the other. Just drink and put the cigar in his mouth and just kept digging trenches. It's shit like that you remember, like all the fun stuff. And,
Hey, you know how.
hold on for this. They put the first canopy up, the actual black hole one. And they I don't know how the hell they did this, but they snapped the living shit out of just about every pole that thing has. They just didn't put it up right. And almost every single support on that thing snapped. So we were able to get it up somewhat, so it still gave us protection. But every 2 minutes, somebody had to push up the canopy to let the water out, or it would have just pulled everything down.
Oh, wow. I know I saw the one Pats fan. He was just like a Pope, like in the road. I saw Nathan. Of course, out of all people, Nathan would be the guy to take a picture with the Patriots fan.
Yeah.
Captain Jack went over to him. They got Will's got a video of him over there with them.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. So bad weather games, bro. People don't want to be outside. They don't want to be getting rained on. I've never
It was
seen.
fun. I saw a couple people show up and they were like, "Nah, we're not tailgating."
Yeah, bro. Some people showed up, and I'm telling you, bro, we had like 5 or 6 tents that were just packed with people like underneath it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, bro, if the weather is bad right
Everybody
now,
was packed in like this, holding piss, trying to stay dry.
bro, you had people with no freaking wet weather gear on. There's nothing,
Right.
just like their jersey and everything, and they're just.
Where'd you guys get the ponchos from? Did somebody go buy some for everybody, or?
Yeah,
No,
like a
bro.
Walgreens and CVS and shit.
I had two
okay.
of them.
She had bought a few and handed them out too. Some
Actually, I
people
bought
brought
4
a
of them.
bunch
Sorry,
and
I
handed
gave-
them
I
out.
figured Dom bought one for Nathan and his girlfriend. I was like, she had to
I
take
did
care
buy
of the
one for
babies.
Nathan and
I was out there. I was out there in a Raiders t-shirt, sleeveless. Didn't have my hat on. I didn't even have this on because I wanted to be able to wear it into the game without being drenched. So I was just walking around with that t-shirt on the whole time, and luckily it was black, because if it was white, I would have won a wet t-shirt contest. Because as well, I was soaked to the bone, man. That shirt, I could have run out and filled up a bucket of water with that thing. I was just drenched. I was like, there's no sense in me crying about being out in the rain. I was going from tent to tent with busting Patriots fans' balls, telling them they were going to lose the whole 9 yards, busting them up and shit.
See, my dumbass would have like stripped down and gotten sick or something because I thought I wanted to be cool in the rain.
Oh, your feet. If you didn't bring a second pair of sneakers, you were
No.
screwed because your feet were soaking wet.
That probably would have been the one thing I would have been worried about was my sneakers.
I didn't bring pair of sneakers.
Oh, James.
I was smart. I brought
Yeah.
a shitty pair of shoes to
Yeah.
wear
No.
at the tailgate.
GQ James would have been able to make it in that weather, bro.
As
James
soon
would have been like,
as
Oh,
soon as
crap.
the rain touches the Jays, it's over. The Jays are no good.
Oh yeah.
You got to
The
replace
rain.
it.
You would have been crying like a little girl because your shoes would have been all dirty. Because they
You're
were
right. I would have been.
mud
You're right.
everywhere.
I looked like I was in a mud wrestling contest.
No, you know what? with that much rain, I probably would have been like, I probably would have said like F it, and I probably would have like showed up in a pair of Vans
Yeah.
or some trucks.
I would have worn like some sandals and had my shoes around my neck till I went inside.
Bro, there was a dude with sandals. There was a dude with sandals on out
The
there.
guy cooking was wearing flip flops.
Yeah, the guy was
Yeah.
in
Dante.
See?
He was in flip flops the whole day. It was just But again,
I would have
that's-
took my Crocs, all weather terrain shoes right there. There you go.
Oh, come on, you do not own a pair of Crocs.
Of course he does. Most certainly does.
What?
Nate-
Me? Oh hell
Nate
yeah.
walked
Yeah.
away with
They're the
wearing
most
Crocs.
comfortable
Yeah,
thing for my feet. Yeah.
Oh man, Crocs, man, come on, man, come on,
Super
man.
comfortable.
Oh,
I used to
yeah.
make fun of people till I put them on. I put them on joking with my nephew, and I was like, "Oh damn, these feel good."
James, did you just say you have Crocs?
Crocs are for people that are like 40 and up.
Right here.
Well, that would be
We're
me.
right here, bro.
So that's not
48 next month.
No.
We're all in that zone, James. We're not little babies.
Crocs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate, he goes, my Air Force Ones are cooked. Oh, he was covered in
I do got Raider Crocs, cool Kev.
Show him, Leo. Show him the cool crop.
They say
Oh.
Raider right there. You can kind of see it because of the light, but they got all the Raider tabs all around them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they say fuck your team and all that stuff. Yeah.
No, but I own Crocs.
See, told you.
Oh
But,
man.
yeah, all in all, it was that
That's
weekend
awesome,
was-
man. That is so awesome.
I mean, I've already got notes down for how to do it differently or how to improve on things for next year because the Raiders are coming back here again next year. You know, and with video that Will has, that's going to be the seller for people that are going to want to come think about even coming out here. They're going to see what he's going to put together, and they're going to be like, I got to be there next year. I can't miss this, you know?
Yeah.
So we set the bar. Now I got to exceed that next year because we're going to have more people.
Yeah, dude, definitely. Now you know you
I
need a
can tell you
bigger
right now,
place.
Blake's out for next year. Blake's is not going to happen. That's too
Not because they were bad, Blake's if you're listening.
Oh,
I need
oh
a
my
bigger
God, they were
venue.
awesome.
Great
Yeah.
location. Let's be
Yeah.
real. Great location. They took care of us. I mean, like we just too many.
Well, because
Too many
I
people.
was asking her throughout the night. I kept going up to her and saying, "You guys all right? How's everything going?" She goes, "It's going great." And I'm like, "Well, I figured because these guys are drinking like fish, so they were selling drinks like hand over fist. The food was flying out of the kitchen. I mean, there was a massive amount of food that was sold.
I know
out.
you
They
didn't, Jeff, but Will, did you get a chance to take a picture with Mark or talk to Mark?
With Mark Jones?
Yeah.
No, Mark Davis.
No, Jeff did not.
No, I did not get a chance to talk with Mark Davis.
You either. Oh wow.
I was busy over there videotaping.
Man, for 5 minutes, I wouldn't have known who the hell you guys were, and I would have went straight to Mark Davis.
You know, for me, like, well, it was. I'm gonna tell you what the cool part was, right? Like, we showed up, and I don't know if Jeff was there yet, but there was a youth football team that the coach comes up there, and he was like, "Hey, man," he's like, "this is really cool that you guys are coming out here. I named my youth football team after the Raiders. That's why we're here, like the Brockton Raiders." And he was like, starts telling us about how he kind of like doesn't have the Raider uniform, kind of made a little offset of it because NFL tampering rules or NFL like plagiarism rules or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And he was just like, starts telling us about how important it was for him to have that Raiders team there. And I was like, man, how crazy is that this dude is thinking about the Raiders in Brockton, Massachusetts, bro. Like I ain't even heard of this town until Jeff brought it up on Instagram. I had no idea that Al Davis was from Brockton, Massachusetts.
Yeah, I always assumed it was from what, Jersey, right?
Yeah.
New York. Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
He was raised in Brooklyn, but born in Brockton.
Well, for any of you guys who want to know, Jeff and I are from Rhode Island. Jeff is from Lincoln. I am from Pawtucket. If you want to go look up the high schools in Pawtucket, Shea, which is the school that I'm my alma mater from, its mascot is Raiders.
They wear the actual shield.
They
the
wear the
actual
Raiders
Raider
shield.
shield
So
on
guess
their
what?
helmet.
Jeff and I were meant to be because I am more
That's
of a Raider
crazy.
than he is.
And the best part is, every Thanksgiving, we were the rivalry. So Lincoln always played against Shea on Thanksgiving, and I went to Lincoln. So my senior year, I didn't play in that game because I had fucked my elbow up. So I had to sit that
You
one out.
stay hurt, don't you? Your ACL, your elbow.
Oh yeah, he was yeah.
So
Jesus.
So I show up to the game that morning, and I'm wearing my LA Raiders hat on my head. And my coach goes, he starts yelling at me, "What the F are you doing wearing that goddamn hat?" I said, "What?" He goes, "Get that off your head." I said, "Why?" He goes, "We're effing playing them today. Take that goddamn Raiders hat off your head." I had to put it in my locker.
Why don't you ask him what his mascot was?
Ours was the Lions.
What were they?
The Lions.
The Giant?
The Lions. Like Detroit, like the Detroit Lions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that team that was there, and I heard they were the Raiders, but like, hey, those weren't Raider colors though.
Oh, they blue and like white.
Yeah.
Blue and white.
Quick story about that youth team. When I was with the other organization, we actually did a lot of fundraising for them. They used to have car washes, and we would bring all our cars up there, let them wash our cars, and then we would do stuff with them, like, give them we used to donate for their team and shit.
Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to that, but
yeah. But,
Jeff
they've been
beyond
around for a
Thunderdome.
while, but yeah, it was cool to see all those kids there. Did you see Brian Flowers? All in Autumn Win when he was in.
Yeah, I saw him there.
Yeah. Doing the chant, doing the chair.
He's the one why I saw all the legends were there because he posted them. You two were doing your own little thing, and I was like, then I saw it on All in Autumn's Win. He got pictures of all the legends, and I was like, oh damn, yeah. Mm-hmm. Hollywood Jeff in action, right? Yeah.
But yeah, I here it is now. It's a couple of days removed from the game. Everybody's gone back home. The dust today has been the most relaxing day for me right now. The dust is kind of settled. There's a bunch of things I wanted to do last night, but I hit up a couple of my buddies that we play online with, and I'm like, I'm ready to play tonight. I didn't want to think anything about what the weekend went through. I just wanted to just unwind, and that was the first chance where I finally got to I can.
Oh, you're going back to your Battleship game?
No, we were playing PUBG. But I was up till 5 o'clock this morning. I was just so still pumped up with adrenaline and just everything from this weekend. I'm finally coming down from that high now, and it's. I spent all day today just going through all messages and trying to respond as much as I could to people.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Popular.
Oh, bro, he was Mr. Popular, bro. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Jeff, yeah."
And yes, Space B, shout out to All in on a Win going for that Guinness World Record. Man.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Awesome. That was awesome meeting him too. Actually, I talked to him for a little while. He's a great dude, man.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. Yeah.
He actually interviewed my son on Sunday during the tailgate.
Did he?
So, yeah. And I saw that, so I walked up behind him and I kind of snuck in on the interview. I'm like, I saw you interviewing my son. I had to
look at you. You couldn't even let somebody else have the shine for a second.
Because I want everybody to know who the kid was. That he's my kid,
Yeah, couldn't let him have a spotlight, right?
Oh,
yeah, he's like, this is my party. Get out of here.
Yeah. Don't steal my thunder, kid.
We haven't had a chance to ask my son either, but JPJ's parents came to the tailgate.
Yeah, nobody told me.
No one told Jeff and I, but we think my son might have been talking to them.
He had no clue.
But I haven't had a chance to ask him yet. I think
Really?
maybe like no,
Wait. So Mike didn't tell you guys they were gonna be there?
no.
I
We
knew
didn't
they were
even know
gonna
they
be
were
there.
gonna be
How
there.
did you not know they were gonna be there?
But Mark Jones was talking to them.
Yeah.
I don't know if my son actually made his way over because it was our car, my son's car, and then they were right there. But we didn't know this until after. But I think
Yeah.
my son made his way over there and was talking to them. But
Yeah, they're really cool.
Since, so I haven't had a chance to ask him. But
Mhm.
yeah, so
They're
actually
really
gonna-
good people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. It's past my bedtime. I'm going to turn into a moldy pumpkin soon. So if Calista and Nate are listening, they're probably laughing their asses off right now. So I'm actually going to say goodnight to you guys. When Rachel comes back in,
Bye,
make sure we
Dawn.
don't talk. Okay. Right. Good night.
Love
Good night,
you.
guys.
Hey, Daryl Langley, you're right. Those are two really good people, and they really are. They really, really are. Yeah. Mhm.
Well, man, like I think Rachel's phone died, fellas.
I bet I was assuming that. Yeah.
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 Why did they do that? Why did they think it's cool to walk around with the phone at 5%, and then I'll just worry about it when it gets there, right? This is what happens, people. like
So-
my lady, if you're out there listening right now, this is what I'm talking about. Why I get mad.
Your lady's out there running around on 5%, Leo.
Yeah, and then she looks at me like kind of scared to ask me to plug the phone in the car, right?
The space piece, yes, that was my wife. That was Dawn. She was the glue that held everything together this weekend, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You better treat her to
Really
a nice
didn't get
dinner or
enough
something, man.
recognition this weekend for what she did. I mean,
Yeah, brother, you better take her to some nice little outing this weekend or something.
yeah, McDonald's sounds good.
Wow.
She's in the back. She goes, I don't want McDonald's.
And it better not be for no chicken palm.
I'm done with chicken palm for a while.
He said McDonald's.
I'll tell you what, I'd never been into the north end of Boston before where all the Italian restaurants were. Oh, good God. Like, it's literally every building, every door is a different Italian restaurant in that section. That's Will. I mean, they were everywhere. Like, if you look on Google Maps, all you see is forks and spoons all over. Every building had a fork and spoon. Every place was a goddamn eatery over there.
I'm going to tell you like this, bro. Yo, Leo, next year, make sure you book your ticket early, bro. Make sure you get your ticket, you punch it, because Boston is off the chain. It's a great experience. People are so nice. Everything is really close by. I mean, like, I really felt like I stayed at a hostel. I mean, like, I didn't stay at a, like, expensive.
You stayed at a hostel?
Yeah. I stayed at a hostel.
I hear hostel. I think of a fucking horror movie, so I'm good.
Same.
No, dude, this
bro.
had to be, bro. This had to be the nicest, like, hostel.
But I heard that, yeah, if you know where to go, you find some really nice.
Yeah, like, and it was like, I think like $70 a night, and that's instead of paying $250. So I was like, yo, it's perfect for, you know, like if you're not going with if you're going with your lady, I totally suggest that you guys get somewhere to stay.
Oh, I figured, yeah. And it was funny because we were watching the game, and then my girl was with me as we were watching it, and I showed her the rain. She goes, "Oh hell no, we wouldn't be tailgating right now. I would tell you take me inside." Yeah.
Well, you know what it was? When I looked at the weather and I saw there was, at one point, I think it was Thursday, they were calling for a possible chance of rain Sunday morning. So I'm like, all right, that's not a big deal. Get the canopies up right away. We'll be okay. And then come Saturday, I see that it's like 80% chance of rain, you know, for most of the day. I'm like, fuck. You know, once I see that 80%, I'm like, we're screwed. It's definitely going to rain here. How long it's going to last, who knows?
You jinxed it. You kept saying how perfect football weather it was going to be. It was a sunny day.
That's what the weather was suggesting. That's what it said.
Yeah.
It said that storm sped up. That's what
Mother Nature said, hold my beer.
No,
And that's why it got
it
so
started
goddamn
happening Saturday night, bro. It started happening Saturday night.
Yeah, that hurricane that hit down south was pushing that warm, humid air up here. I mean, when I tell you the skies opened up Saturday night, if we were doing an outside party, we would have been screwed Saturday night. If we had planned an outdoor activity for Saturday night, we would have been done because it rained hotter than it did on Sunday.
I think that happened to us in Chicago doing a tour around the lake, and it was raining when we were on that nighttime tour like that. Yeah, one of those boats, Will, when you go to Chicago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bro, like I'll tell you like this. I'll be like, and this is why we come back to the game, right? Like where I told you guys, like the field was just so wet out there, man. And I mean, like, unless you're there at the game, right, to see it live and to like feel the environment, you can only feel so much on the TV. And you know how.
Oh, I bet, right? Yeah.
But when we were out there, I was like, it wasn't that it was raining like a freaking crazy son of a bitch, man. But it was like, it's just enough for you to stay drizzled and wet and uncomfortable.
Mm.
So, like, I could just imagine the guys on the field as they're playing, you know, you're getting hit, you're running around. I'm like, you're getting wet, you're getting soaked. Bro, if my shoes, like, after that, I felt like Donald Duck walking out of there. They were like, walking out of there. I'm like, yeah. I could just imagine those guys like shoes. You feel me? I'm like, you got your cleats on as you're like out there on the field. I'm like, it just a totally different feeling.
No, I get it. Yeah,
but it was crazy.
That's
man.
cool though.
Yo, fellas, since Rachel, like, I don't know what happened. Like we said, her phone died. Let's move on to home open. You guys want to move on?
Yeah, do what's coming up this weekend, big.
Oh, here she is. It's like the bat
Perfect
signal.
timing.
She came in at perfect timing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, here she is, the lady of TBH, the first lady of TBH.
And now I
only
think I
lady of
have
TBH.
terrible reception.
With
No, you're good
terrible
right now.
reception.
What a disaster. I had to run in Walmart, grab a charger, get in my car. I'm at 10%. So you got me for as long as you got me.
All right.
Get to it. We'll get to it.
All right, guys. This is Rachel Rivera, the first lady of the Black Hole, guys. She's here to tell us. Oh, yeah, you are the first lady. You are the sweat equity. We know what you did, lady. You were just telling us before.
You
She
can
is
just call
here.
me Black Hole Rob's wife. That's good enough for me.
Black Hole Rob's wife, guys. The one
There you
and
go.
only Rachel Rivera. Thank you for joining us, Rachel.
Yes.
Rachel.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you on that last one.
Oh, thank you for joining us. So, Rachel, after 30 years of the Black Hole being alive and doing everything, let us know how this whole thing started. Let us know what it means to you. And I'm just going to let you take the floor. You just do you, Rachel. Take over.
First and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much for even having me, for considering me being on. I found out about an hour and a half ago that I was
We told him last week.
Asked to
It's
come
not your
on.
fault.
So it's a big surprise for me, and I have to be honest. I'm having a hard time with Rob's passing, just on a personal level. He was my world. And so since his passing, I've had so many people, Raider alumni, I've had news reporters wanting me to come and talk. And I just haven't wanted to be honest. I haven't been ready. And over the last couple of weeks, or about a month or two, I've been really listening to your podcast. And to be honest, I just love your guys' vibe. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it. At least I'll try, So bear with me. To get back to your question, what it means to me, unfortunately, it means a lot to me more now that I'm seeing it evolved without him, than when he was here, because for the past 30 years, it's just been my everyday life, even for my daughters.
Right.
It's just, they grew up in this. They were born into this. It was just our everyday routine. And so I guess we just didn't realize how special this was, until very recently. And just looking back at how it all grassroots started back in Hayward, California in 1995, which was a few months before Rob and I even met, is just absolutely mind-blowing. It's amazing. And I've been wanting to kind of share with people who may not be aware of kind of how this came to be, because my husband was always just so humble.
Yeah.
And I think once people realize how it started and what you guys are now a part of and helping it to evolve, I think you guys will just be equally amazed and just proud to be a part of this. And I'm so honored. I can't say that enough. I am so honored. I am so humbled to have each and every one of you as chapter presidents and doing things with your chapter, giving back to the community, spreading the aloha, creating an atmosphere where people can come together for the love of their team. And then with that, further the relationships and help those relationships grow from just friends watching a game to actually becoming family. And when I hear you guys say that and other people all the time, it's a beautiful thing. It's so true. And, just to point out, when you hear me say spreading the aloha, my husband's family was from Hawaii, both his mom's side and his father's side. And for those of you that don't know, the Hawaiian people are so humble. They come from very simple beginnings. And so he carried that forth in everything that he did. And no, he did not start this alone. And I would never say that. We need to acknowledge and remember the people from 30 years ago, even though they either are no longer here on this earth with us, or for whatever reason, life happens and people go different ways. Chime in anytime with any questions you have, because I could just go on for days. I just, it just warms my heart to remember my husband in this way.
I have one question, and it came to mind when you were talking about how the one thing you miss is him not seeing how it's grown. Could you elaborate more on that? Because I know a lot of people want to. I'm not from Oakland or the Bay Area, but I mentioned the Black Hole I represent it, and they're like, "Wow, you're from LA. Have you ever been there?" So can you explain to people what that means by the black hole being more than just one area?
I'll try. I think we have to, in order to try to grasp our brains around that, I think it's important to kind of recognize how this all started 30 years ago. And I shared a picture with Will, a very personal picture that I have not shared. I swear I've not shared with anyone. And let me back up. So this all started with a group of friends, high school, even elementary school friends, who just got together for the love of the team in Hayward, California. It was actually at my godparents' house, my aunt and uncle, back in Hayward, and these guys would just get together and watch the games at somebody's house. And then back in 95, there was a game that I shared the picture with Will, and I don't know if he's going to be able to show this. This is the moment in history that changed the trajectory of Rob's life. And that's a picture right there that I have not shared with anybody. And it's actually a newspaper clipping. So back in 1995, I believe it was the Raiders against the Colts. Rob had snuck down to the end zone where he wasn't supposed to be with a good friend of his. Snuck down to section 1, first row of the end zone, section 105. And in that picture right there, you have Napoleon Kaufman jumping into Rob's arms.
Yeah.
And and so that made it on the front page of every paper around here. And people from all over were getting copies of that newspaper and bringing it to our house. Rob was dropping his quarters in every paper machine that was a, paper dispenser back in the day. We didn't have Google. We didn't have internet, just newspapers.
Really
And
had
so
the
Rob,
internet.
Rob was driving around everywhere collecting newspapers from every 7-Eleven and gas station there was. And that sparked an idea in his head that this could become something one day, not ever knowing what that was. And if you knew Rob in the center of his crew, Rob was like a goofball. He was the silly one. He was the goofy one. He was the one everybody made fun of, and he loved it. He ate it up. It made him feel loved when the guys would, make fun of him for whatever reason. And so he goes back to his guys, and he was like, hey guys, this happened. And, obviously he's sharing the story and, we got something, we got to get our seats together. So my aunt at the time, back in 95, worked for an organization called, what was it called? OFMA, Oakland Football Marketing Association or something like that. And so she was basically in charge of selling people their tickets. Long story short. And so Rob and his friends, and some of which were my family members, went to my aunt and said, hey, what can you do? And so she arranged for them to get those seats first row in the end zone, section 105. And that's just kind of where it snowballed from there. Yeah. So now you have these group of guys, friends and family, they got their PSLs in section 105. And the other picture I sent to Will is a picture of one of the OGs, one of the originals. His name's Harry. And it's of him, which when I was talking to Will a few minutes ago, he didn't even know about this. They used to have a dummy. I don't know if you guys are aware of the dummy. Can you show that, Will? Are you able to show that?
Yep, right here.
Okay, there we go.
I remember that.
He sent it to me earlier, so I had him ready to go for you.
Yeah, and so Harry is one of the OGs there. This was actually a blow-up doll, 99-cent blow-up doll. And he would decorate it in quote honor of an opposing team member. And that dummy would get thrown up in the air, 20 feet as high as it can go. For years they did that. Yeah, again, he'd get it ready, a few days before the games, because originally they tailgated like normal folks. So you have a Sunday game, 1:00 game, gates would open, 10 o'clock in the morning, let's say. So the guys would be out there an hour or two before the gates even open. Well, over time, that started to change into, 9, 10, 12 hours. Next thing you know, it was Friday. They were tailgating on 66th Avenue for days, waiting for just the gates to open. And they're lucky that OPD never really stopped them. Right. I was not a part of that. I only go by the stories that I heard over the 30 years, but, they had piss buckets out there and guys would be on piss bucket duty.
Oh my God.
I have pictures of them brushing their teeth literally with their fingers and putting the toothpaste on the fingers and, that nasty beer breath and God. This just became a way of life. And, next thing I know, guys are picking up Rob on Friday night for a Sunday night game. And I was like, dude, are you freaking kidding me? And so that's kind of how it started. In their original tailgates, I'm guessing probably 40 people, friends and close friends and maybe some wives and a couple kids. And then over the years, it really, I don't know how else to describe it other than it just snowballed to the very last few years in Oakland. We're talking tailgates of 400 people and no problems. Over the years, Raider fans have had the utmost terrible, media coverage in every way, shape, or form, from newspaper to our local news stations reporting. And Rob went toe to toe, verbally, I will say, with many reporters who would report very negatively upon Raider fans. And he would get face to face with them. He'd be there, you know. I guess that's when we just now started having emails, or however you would comment on commentaries from the newspaper and so forth. And you know, he would let them know that Raider fans come in all shapes and sizes. We come from all walks of life. We've had Raider fans or people in the black hole who were just who were federal employees to people straight out of federal penitentiary. And that's no joke. But they all came together on game day wearing black for the love of their team. And that was just amazing. And it's still continuing 30 years later. Who else can say that?
Right?
When you think about it, who else can say that their club grew from a handful of guys to a little bit of a bigger group of guys watching football games in someone, you know, makeshift, backshift room to chapters globally?
Right.
That's unheard of. And each and every one of you who are on here tonight are a part of that. And I mean, it's just great. I have so many beautiful memories. You know, I've only been to Vegas once. Well, yeah, I think once. I can't even remember right now. Last November, went out to Vegas, and I wore for 3 days. I wore my my Dickie shirt because it was the first Dickie shirt that Rob came out with, and I was packing my bags, and I told my girls, watch, I'm going to wear this Dickie shirt all weekend. They're like, yeah, right, Mommy. Well, that weekend came, and anybody who knows me that was there that weekend, I wore that Dickie shirt for 3 days. Of course, I had a shirt underneath, but I just felt the love of my husband with me. And you'll probably see me this weekend wearing that same Dickie shirt because it's the original one that he came out with, I don't know, about 10 years ago, maybe. But it just, that's all I want to wear, you know? And, you know, my girls were born into this. The Raider anthem, you know, came on TV the other day. And my youngest daughter, she says, Mommy, I love that song. You know, she's heard it from birth, from in utero. But just the memories over the years is just so many. And there's so many people that were a part of that when they originally started, you know, tailgating. They were probably, if not the first, I would say one of the first tailgates to have a live band. One of Rob's good friends and dear friends, his name is Sal Ramos from Hayward, had a band called the Lowdown Band. And they would play there at the tailgates. They would play there the weekend. They would play there the weekend before the game over at the Hilton, which is where the Raiders used to stay. And you know, Rob and his friends would find themselves hanging out at the Hilton, trying to see what players they could catch a glimpse of. You know, including Mr. Davis himself. So yeah, a lot of great memories. We made a trip down to San Diego together the time of the Super Bowl. And I was telling Will, I remember that night of the playoff game, that if they would have won, that they won would lead them to the Super Bowl. You know, Rob was at the game, and I was at home watching it on TV like pins and needles. I was biting my fingernails because I knew sometimes the Raiders would lose the game many a times in the last 10 seconds of the game for years.
Right, yeah.
And you know, Rob wasn't too happy. I couldn't talk to him for 3 days when he'd come home from a losing game. It was just horrible. And so I'm watching that game, and I see that they were getting close to winning. I was like, oh my goodness, we don't have a hotel room, we don't have tickets, but I want to get my honey to San Diego somehow. So
Wow.
as the game was getting ready to be over, and I had a hunch that they would win, there I was in the phone book. Okay, we didn't have Google back then. I was in the phone book, or calling, what was it, 411 information?
Yeah, 411. Yeah,
LA,
yeah.
trying to find a hotel room. Everything was already booked. So I found a Motel 6 in like Oceanside or Riverside, wherever that is.
Oceanside.
And so I booked
Oceanside,
a few rooms for his friends because I knew everybody was going to want to go. And so we caravanned. This is such a beautiful story. We caravanned about, I don't know, maybe 100 of us down to San Diego for the Raider game. And we had some news reporters from the Bay Area jumping into different cars along the way. He'd drive for 2 hours with one group of cars, and then we'd keep going, and he'd switch cars at the truck stop, trying to get his story.
Wow.
And it starts getting dark, as we're making it to San Diego. We're like in East LA somewhere you don't want to get out if you're not from that neighborhood. And I'm driving the car. I got 4 dudes in my car, including Rob, and they got to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, I don't know where we're at. I got to find a McDonald's, trying to find a bathroom. And they're like, just pull over right here in this alley. And I'm like, are you kidding me? They're like, no, pull over. And I was like, okay. Next thing I know, they're pissing on some paisa's drawing or painting they got up there. And this dude comes to my window and he's like, yo, what's up? Where are you from? And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, just coming for the Raider game. And then he puts his hand in my car and I'm like, man, is he going to punch me or what? And he goes to fist bump me. And then these guys pop out of nowhere and they're telling Rob and his friends, like, why are you pissing on I forgot what it's called, their mural. And they're like, sorry, we didn't know. So they jumped in the car and we just kept going all the way to San Diego. And Rob was one of the few guys without a ticket. And so we go to this big party that they're having in San Diego. And there was this guy, I can't remember his name, but he had a radio show out this way in like Stockton, California, somewhere out there. And he told Rob, there is no way the Black Hole is going to this Super Bowl without you. And Rob was like, I can't, dude. I don't have a ticket. And he gave Rob a ticket. And he looked at me and he was like, bye, honey. I'm going to the game. And so, he tells all his boys, okay, you guys got to watch my wife for the game. So, anybody else who didn't have a ticket, there I was in San Diego, with a bunch of folks. And it was a great time. And, I eventually found him after the game. But that's a beautiful memory that I'll always cherish, was he made it to that game. Yeah. And that just goes to show the love that is built within the Black Hole, because this guy could have easily sold that ticket for thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave it to Rob.
Right.
That's awesome. So when Rob passed away, I found that guy's number, or, through people, connections or whatever. And I called him and I says, here I am calling you 20 some years later, because I never forgot what you did for Rob. And he was just so happy that I called him, and I was so happy to be able to thank him. And so no acts go unnoticed.
That is so awesome. I love that story. That is so cool.
I love stories like that.
See, Jeff, you're not the only one who leaves their wife in the parking lot, apparently.
Yes.
It must be a Raider thing.
Following Black Hole tradition.
Gotta keep up with those traditions, guys. Let's go.
You know what? I just want to jump in there for a second. I've only been into Black Hole for a very short time. So, I mean, I became a Black Hole member back in like mid-May of this year. And the way I was welcomed in by everybody that I've encountered that's already been a part of a part of the Black Hole for years, they made me feel welcome. You know, I mean, I've never felt anything like this. The closest thing I've felt to camaraderie and kinship is my time in the fire service. To this, this has been this weekend here. What we just went through here was the closest thing I've had to that since leaving the fire service, and this felt so great this weekend, being around everybody and seeing guys that I talk to all the time and being in person with them. Like when I picked Nate up from the airport Wednesday night and seeing him, it's like it finally hit me that it's here. People are coming, and they're coming here to watch this team, and they're coming here to celebrate this and to experience that. Watching everybody come in and just everybody just got along. There were no fights with each other. There were no arguments. There was no drama. I mean, it was just one big happy family, and I loved every aspect of that over the weekend. And I didn't want it to end. I'm telling you right now, if I could have stayed up and kept everybody here for forever, I would have. When I left and went to the hotel Sunday night, I said to Dawn, I said, this makes me want to move out west. I said, I want to but then that means you won't be the president out there. I said, I don't care. I want to be close to everybody that's out there. I mean, it was just amazing in how well everybody from the West that came out to the East Coast got along with everybody that lives here. You know, like that are part of my chapter and Raider fans that live in this area that weren't part of our chapter yet. They're going to be. Just got along with everybody so well. It's like it's that Raider thing. You know, it's that black hole thing. It's just everything just meshing together just so perfect. I mean, I and this is where I felt as though I tried my best to honor Rob in that way that we did things. We did things with
you did a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
The aloha
Phenomenal.
spirit.
Yeah.
I mean, I welcomed everybody.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I did everything I could.
We need to have we need to do a Hawaii takeover next.
Woo!
A black hole takeover in Hawaii.
Sign me up.
I'm already talking to our sponsor and trying to get in his ear, and he's kind of liking the idea.
Oh, I'm loving that one. Oh my god!
I just want to get to Vegas once, but I'll go to Hawaii. You know? Hey, you have no idea how much this is killing me not being able to be out there with you guys next Monday night.
Oh, I bet, bro. It was the same way when you guys were
I want to be out there so bad. Not even for the game. I'll sit in the freaking bar and watch the game, even though I don't drink anymore. I just want to be there with everybody. That's how much I miss everybody already.
Yeah.
You know?
So
I mean, I'm going to put a picture up. I just got it sent to me by Mike from Raw, okay? This is going to show you how many people showed up Sunday night. And he gave me the official number just now in a text. How many people showed up Sunday night at a bar in Boston after this game? 120 people walked through that door Sunday night in Boston.
That was that Scorpion?
Scorpion bar. 120. That's us. And that's not even everybody that was there. Some people had already left at this point. But look at that. That's Black Hole. That's Raw. That's the Wrecking Crew is in there. There was people from all over that were in that photo right there.
That's awesome.
That's at about 12 o'clock at night, Will? 12:30?
So like at midnight?
All the days.
I mean, pretty much we took the picture and then most people started to leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was insane. Look,
I mean, I can imagine you guys started early. You guys tailgated. You guys went to the game. Then I heard it took forever to get out of the stadium. So by the time you made it to the Scorpion bar, yeah.
Well, the lot we were in, it was a late release lot. You can't leave until 75.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah. So,
but that's amazing. If you look at that picture, how many people are there at that time of night after a whole day of being at the stadium for 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and still rolling like that?
Yeah.
They must have been blown away.
Oh, they told Mike they want us back next year. So I told him, I said, they're definitely out. They're definitely in the plans. That's for sure. Whether it's whatever party we do, we're definitely going to use that place. So when he sent me that, I was like, God damn, that was one hell of a turnout for that time of night.
I know you've been part of clubs and you've done the club thing, but when we were talking about this whole thing and you organizing, That's the part I was talking about. Because I've been to different places, and obviously there's more of us over here, but that's what it's like when we go. We'll go to the game, and we'll be at somewhere till like 2 a.m, bro. I remember in Oakland, the bar at the hotel would close, but they let us keep drinking out in the parking lot. And we'd be out there till like 2, 3 a.m, still doing that. And that's just that camaraderie that comes with being a Raider fan. And it's so awesome you got to experience that, bro. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? I kind of comes full circle, right? We when you said, "Hey, Rachel, could you elaborate with Black Hole Rob's vision for the Black Hole?" Right? I think that's where now the Black Hole is so much bigger than just Oakland or just that one section of the stadium inside of Oakland. And I think Rachel would agree that the Black Hole now it's like it's its own entity that is like growing.
It's crazy.
You're right. It's like,
I was remembering, 30 years ago, we didn't even have a computer. We had just custom ordered a Dell computer with the specs and how much storage, and we had our computer delivered, and then that's how Rob started being able to communicate with people from all over the country. And anytime, we'd hear the Black Hole mentioned on TV, we were just like, we didn't have cell phones, so everybody was calling our house phone like, did you hear that? They mentioned on Channel 2 the Black Hole, and did you see it in the newspaper? And there Rob would go again, trying to buy all the newspapers, in the area so he could take the newspaper clippings. And it just started growing, and next thing you know, he was being contacted from people in Australia and other states saying, how do I become a part of this? And he would tell me, and I'm like, you're kidding me. And he's like, no, look, read, here's the email. This guy's from wherever. And Rob didn't know how to type, so he would type with these two fingers, boom, 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 boom. Oh, he'd drive me nuts. He'd stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning returning, emails that he just was learning how to do. And I would just get so frustrated hearing his eventually started typing with like 4 fingers, and but just to see that people wanted to be a part of this, and it just started growing. And I have to thank Cisco personally, and I always have, because Cisco's been, over the last several years, been a very intricate part of that process, and helping to find the right people. And Rob had the interview process, and just so you guys know, I'm not sure if anybody's even aware, we are not an official Raider Booster Club.
Yeah,
we never have been, and I don't anticipate that we ever will. And that's just because Rob wanted to do it his way.
Right.
And I'm sure you're aware of many official Raider Booster Clubs, which is fine. It's great for them, to each his own. But they have a set of rules that they need to follow. And Rob wasn't that way. So he's done, everything with the help of, his crew and his team, and it's just been amazing. But we have never been an official Raider Booster Club.
mm,
I was a president of the Booster Club, and you're right. It was officially, at one point, it was a recognized club by the Raiders. And yeah, there were rules, but the Booster Club, the whole process of fan groups was actually started with Al Davis, because it was the way that he wanted the fans involved. And some people broke off and didn't do a Booster Club. They did their own thing, like Rob did. He did his own thing the way he wanted it, with his vision. And I see what his vision was. I feel as though it's really coming true. Here it is, 30 years later. It's still going strong. You're still adding people.
Right.
We've already picked up a few members since this weekend for my chapter.
Right.
Because of
wow.
the notoriety that we got the word out there, and people saw us, and just all the, talking to people at the game that didn't even know we existed, and now And now with the flag on TV like that, now anybody that lives in New England, because they're watching the game because it's on because of that, they see that flag and they're like, wow, there's a club in New England that they probably never knew about. So I'm sure.
Yeah.
I already told my guy Dave, I said, I want to get a promo out with that picture, you and I holding that flag, but use it like an advertisement for the chapter and for the black hole, to push it, pump it, and let's take advantage of this while we can. This was handed to us on a silver platter. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better.
And there's so much power in numbers, and that's what Rob's vision always was, to have enough numbers to be able to create something that would give back to the fans in one way, shape, or form. And so now that we're growing, we can negotiate with the Nugget and so forth. And Mark's doing a phenomenal job of that, Mark Jones. And being able to have us get discounts on this. And, Rob was the grassroots of that, and he worked so hard for that. And now it's really coming to fruition.
Yeah.
So, Rachel, like we keep talking about Rob's vision and his dream for the black hole. You were there. What was Rob's vision? And what was his dream for the black hole? I mean, you would be the one person that actually knows this information.
I would honestly have to say, and as corny as this may sound, he just wanted to black out the stadium. That's all he wanted. He was, don't come to a tailgate wearing white. Don't come to a tailgate with the red Raider hat and the symbol. He didn't want to see that. He wanted to see black and black only. And for the support and the love of the team. And, that love that he gave to the team is why us not being an official Raider Booster Club, we still had legends. We're not just talking any Raider alumni. I mean, we would have legends wanting to come to the events that he put on. What a compliment. What an honor that is. For these legends just to show up and want to be there and sit at a table with us regular folks and drink a beer and have appetizers, and they bring their wine.
Yeah.
That's really unbelievable. And, even to this day, it still happens. And it's just so awesome. When you really stand back and just take a look at what happens, it's amazing, and again, we're all a part of this. Everybody plays an important part, no one person is bigger and better than the other. And to see you guys out there giving back to the community, that's another thing that Rob always wanted to see was, what can we do to help the community? And in the very beginning, there was a lady in Oakland. Her name was Mother Wright. She was known as Mother Wright, who would give to the poorest in the community. And Rob and the Black Hole would support her, whether it was a toy drive for Christmas or some food on Thanksgiving. Just always finding a way to give back to the community.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And that's really one of the things I want this channel to become too, a way for Black Hole members and chapters to spread their word on any of their fundraisers, charities that they're doing. I mean, this is a perfect platform for it.
Absolutely.
We did that 2 weeks ago. I think it's Tony. Is it Spokane, Washington? He's having these stickers printed, and he was telling me about it. I thought that was a phenomenal idea. Just wanting to pay it forward, and so Tony's vision is, okay, I'm gonna give you a sticker or two, and whatever you can do, to pay it forward to somebody else in your community, some small good deed, please do that. And, I really appreciate that he came up with that thought. And I was listening to your podcast the other day, and I was even telling my daughter about it, Jeff, about the family that you had mentioned who had a little girl named Autumn, and then their other son who had a terminal illness. And you guys raising money for that. And I think I heard the guy from New Jersey,
having a fundraiser for some other kids in his area, and his daughter who was, I think, battling and overcame, I think it was leukemia, he said. I mean, you guys just have so many things going on, and each chapter is different. We're all growing, and I appreciate this space where you guys can share your ideas and build upon each other and help each other, because it's not easy. Some of these chapters may be self-sufficient and running good, and they got all the help they need. And then we've got other chapters that, are still trying to get more people involved. So for those of you that are out there doing awesome, more power to you. And for those of you that are still trying to kick it in gear, I feel you. I know how it is, and you'll get there.
Yeah, I started my chapter brand new, zero member. And you're right. This helps. The guys help the way they spread the word. I had 2 more people join last week before we even started. I had people messaging me about meeting up in Vegas so they can join when they meet me down there. So yeah, it's definitely good to see. Or they don't even know that we have one out here, getting the word out there. Like, when did this start? I just started it. Well, let's join. Okay. Yeah,
that's how I gained a couple that we did. They didn't even know about us until they showed up. They saw the Instagram post. They showed up to the tailgate, the pregame party Saturday night, and they were hooked. They saw what was going on and they were loving it. So,
and I'll tell you this, Rachel. I've been a fan for a long time. 83. I'm from LA. I started going to Oakland when I got out of the military. So like 2006, 2007. My first experience there was so humbling, because I captured and embraced the Oakland mystique there. Meeting Rob, the Black Hole, all that stuff, Ricky's, all that. But I never really got into the club because I wasn't from that area. But then later on, I started doing the YouTube. And shout out to Marlene. Marlene invited me to the little barbecue they had up in Sacramento area. And I went. And the minute I got there, I've done many events doing merch. And a lot of people give you a stank face. Like, who are you? Like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you up here, right? I kid you not. The people there at the Black Hole, they helped me set up my tent. They asked me if I wanted water. They asked me if I needed help. Will was one of them. I said no. My girl was like, no, you better let him help you. Right? I mean, there were so many.
That was the first blackout of the season, baby.
Yeah, they all came up and they helped me. And I remember thinking to myself, like, that's what I want to be a part of. Like, it doesn't matter where I came from. I was there. And, shout out to everyone. Sacramento, the 7 chapters, all of them. They re-invited us that next day to the Reno one. Come back next year. Come to Reno. We're like, yes, we're going to come. It's just that camaraderie and that unity. And I felt more welcome there than I had in like any other event I had done. Then when I saw the opportunity, I told Cisco, I want to join. I want to start a chapter.
Oh, that's what it was like Sunday when we started. When we pulled up, I said priority 1, we get my canopy up first because the
Richmond.
And everybody that was there, they got out of their cars, they grabbed the other canopies, they started setting those up, and we had one set up. We got the grill fight. I mean, everybody was clicking. I didn't have to tell anybody to do anything. They were just taking upon themselves to open up the
even right now going to Arizona, Israel, Angel, all of them were hitting me up. Hey, Cheeto, are you coming? We're gonna be here. Let us know if you need help with anything. I was like, man, that is amazing.
Yeah. It was incredible how fast we got that set up, and we had a lot of stuff to set up, and it was like 5 minutes, and everything was out of my son's truck already, and half the shit was already out of my wife's car. And we were moving. It was just.
You're gonna be able to go to the game?
Huh?
Who's going to home opener?
Oh, I'll be there.
Tito.
I will be there. Yes. Yeah.
You're
I'll be a vendor
right?
at the takeover. So yeah.
Well, are you going? You're not going? I thought you were.
Nope, can't go, brother. I'll be like, shoot, Boston, tap me out. Oh,
man, trust me.
Yeah.
But
I'll be there.
And this is what kills me. I've never seen the Raiders play at home, ever. Whether it was LA, Oakland, or Vegas. I've yet to see them play at home. I've seen them on the road many times, but never at home. And, man, I wish I was there one day. I so wish I could.
I wish I
had guys offer me their season tickets this weekend. if you ever come out here, you got a free ticket on me. I'm like, damn. I'm like, all right. It was insane. I was like, I was blown away. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna tell you guys something, man. I think a lot of that spirit and the stuff that you guys are feeling are just ways that that there are key members in the black hole, like you guys said, that bring that aloha spirit, that bring that to you, that bring people together and are what I call those type of people are like big unifiers, right? They unify people because they're just their personalities, the way that they are, and the way that they make people gravitate towards each other. And Rachel said something about Rob. Rob was the biggest magnet of them all, right? Like his personality, just having fun, letting people make fun of him, and just embracing it all and taking all in stride. I think that is something that we now have with the black hole, which is just pieces like that that are bringing in other pieces that bring that family love, you know. And like when Cheeto showed up to San Francisco, first time I ever seen him, I mean, like first I was thinking Cheeto was like at least 6'5", 6'3", you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, I see this guy walk up on my man. Hey, I think that's Cheeto, but nah, man, that guy's way too short. And that mohawk, though, that I was like, I don't. What is it called? The pro hawk or a mohawk?
The mohawk, yeah.
Mohawk. Mohawk. I was like, it has to be him. And then Marlene goes, yeah. Marlene goes like, hey, that's Cheeto. And I'm like, oh, that's Cheeto Linus from the YouTube thing. And she's like, yeah. I was like, and I see him putting out all this stuff out of his car, man. And I'm like, damn, that man looks like he got a lot of work to do. So, you know, he's out pulling this stuff, and I'm like, so I go over there and I'm just like, hey, Cheeto, if you guys need any help or whatever, just let us know. And of course, Cheeto at first probably like, no, man, this dude's gonna take half my stuff out of my car. I'm a freaking be half this stuff. This dude is just gonna take off on me. But it was just so cool to meet up with him, and like the vibe, man. The vibe was just incredible. And I think, you know, throwing that first blackout in San Francisco for that barbecue and having the 7 chapters there and having Marlene, you know, Marlene, like you said, Cheeto, Marlene is a big unifier for the whole Western region of the whole United States for TBH. She's just an amazing person. And I mean, like, she's really brought me into the fold and showed me that love that she showed you, you know? And that's kind of like what like magnetized me to say, hey, man, like she's just one of those people that is a big unifier for us. You know, she gets Lovelock involved. She got Sacramento involved. She got San Francisco. I'll be like, bro, there's clubs on the West Coast that I don't even know where they're at. They're so tiny. Yeah. They all came together to make that thing happen. And then we started going to the West Coast, and Marlene was just like, hey, I'm going to call all these other clubs. I see you guys promoting. I'm going to re-promote. And next thing I know, Jeff's getting a bunch of love out there, you know, and he's feeling the love. And I think the black hole now, man, is just we're flipping the page, and we're becoming a unified family. You know, we're huge. But when you talk about the unification of the black hole, it's starting now. And it's starting to see the different changes. And it's like Rachel said, I'll be like, now it really feels like the spark is lit. And I mean, like, bro, I'm telling you, home opener, I'm gonna tell you, Black Hole Rob is gonna be happy, bro. I'm gonna be expecting about 84% or to 80% Raiders fans in Allegiant, which since it's been open, I don't think that's been heard of.
Nah, not from what I've seen on TV, just by the look of it.
I think the only time that I can remember is the last. Remember that last Sunday night game against the Chargers, went and get in. That
when I was there.
there. And then last year, the home opener after beating the Ravens against Carolina.
I was there too.
That one we showed up for sure. Those are the two that I can remember. Yeah.
Oh, after this past weekend's win, the momentum will carry. We're
oh yeah.
They're gonna want to be there this month.
Yeah.
You know, plus it's a prime time game. I mean, that's a big game. We don't get to go to the
Raiders have chapters in every California prison.
Hey, it's like
I
Rachel
got to meet
said,
Marlene
man.
this
Hey,
weekend, and
we
I'll tell
got
you
from
what, Marlene's awesome. I met her this weekend too, and she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the people I met this weekend that I never would have imagined meeting. You know, it warms my heart how well everybody got along. I can't say it enough. I'm overcome. I really am. I'm overcome with the way everything went down, the way everybody chipped in and helped out, the unity of everybody being there together. I mean,
yeah, you guys did great, man. You guys
I
represented.
think I'm finally coming off of that. I mean, my eyes are welling up right now just thinking back to how seriously, I'm not kidding. You know, there was a lot of pressure on me to make sure that this went off right. There was a lot of pressure on Dawn and everybody else in my chapter, my board members that helped, and it was a long week.
Shout out to my boy MC Raider, $5. Appreciate it. I wish the season ended already. We won one game. Let's fucking go, Ray.
1-0, undefeated.
Right? Yes.
So, Rachel, let me ask this. I mean, like, since you're a big time historian for the Black Hole, when they first started, it started with how many members? Like, how many people actually got together and said, "Hey, let's do this"? And how did they come up with the name, the Black Hole?
Well, I think originally there was, but like I was saying earlier, like a whole bunch of, not a whole bunch, but of several guys who would watch the games together. But originally there was 5 that kind of spearheaded we're going to make this a group, so you had 5 guys, Rob being one of them, at someone's house, watching a game, and Rob convincing them, like, guys, we have something here. Let's, we got to give ourselves a name. And so they were really inspired by what was it, the Dog Pound?
Yeah.
And how they, tailgated and so forth. And so they were just sitting around throwing names out there. The infamous story is that one of them threw out the rat's nest, jokingly, and then another one of them threw out the black hole. And story goes that the room just got silent. And we're like, yeah, that's just like it had a. So they just ran with it, and then kind of just started calling themselves the Black Hole. And then, next thing you know, their friends, the Black Hole. And, it was kind of like a neighborhood thing, everybody from the neighborhood and friends and close family included. And I remember Rob making membership cards, like on a white piece of paper, and ran them through a laminator that said, number 1, number 2, number 3, and it, had some image that somebody probably drew by hand or something. I don't remember exactly, but when Rob passed and I was going through the vault, I came across several that he had never had the opportunity to pass out. There are a few people that have them, but he had printed more, and literally, I'm talking literally, ran them through a homemade laminator, and started passing them out all to his closest friends, and that's kind of just how it started. And then then he was like, okay, we gotta kick it in gear and kind of have a little bit more delegating, and so this person was delegated to bring the barbecue pit, and this person was delegated to bring the ice chest, and then everybody came together and just created these tailgates that maybe started off, like I said, with 50 people, all close friends and family, to, hey, what do you guys got going on over there? And like I said, Sal and his band would be out there, and that drew more attention, and then next thing you know, it just took off. Unbelievable. And then here we are today with we got a global fan group. Like, how does that happen? You know? At one time, chapters in Germany, Mexico, Australia, almost close to nearly every, maybe 20, 30 states or so. But, we're just, about close to 50 deep, 50 chapters deep?
We're at we're at 63 right now, and we'll probably be from what I'm hearing, maybe somewhere over 100 by the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's growing so fast. Like, I open my emails every day, and it's like, if there's another one, there's another one. It's like, whoa.
It was actually, I think.
I remember Bob having this interview process. He was very, very particular on the questions that were asked of people who were interested, because he never wanted it to go left. He always wanted to stay on the right track and have people with good intentions, with the love of the team and the love of being part of, this camaraderie. And so he was very, very particular of who he allowed, to have a chapter.
Right.
And, he'd tell me, okay, honey, I'm about to get on another meeting. Can you be quiet, please? Okay, whatever, And during COVID, God bless his soul, I'm a teacher, so I'd be in the house on my computer giving class, and he'd be in the garage on the other side of the wall, running black hole stuff. And, he had to do a lot of interviews over Zoom. And he'd tell me, whatever you do, don't come in the garage for the next hour, because I'm doing it. And I'd be like, yeah, right, and I'd open the garage so I could wash clothes or on my break. And, he'd give me that dirty look like, come back in the house. I'm on an interview. But he was just very, very particular. And, I'm so proud that he was that way, because had he not been that way, this wouldn't be what it is today.
Right.
Well, I'm also glad I'm glad they didn't settle on the rat's nest.
Yeah, I can't see that on a Dickie shirt. It just don't go together.
The black hole's perfect.
Love it.
The rat's nest just doesn't sound right.
Yeah. And, I can't wait for the day that we start coming out with, or not coming out with more, but printing more of just the black hole shirts. Right now, those have to be, what do you call it? Made by an NFL approved licensed, manufacturer. And so right now we have more of the TBH stuff, but would love to see more of that, just the black hole come out.
Right.
Cheeto.
Real quick shout out to G Fan with the $20 donation to Leo. Couldn't make it to New England to support your booth, brother. Thank you all for the fire content with Rachel and the crew. One love, Raider Nation. Rachel, someone's got a question for you in the chat too. Hang on.
It says, Rachel, if you know Debbie Kinslow, please contact me. Thank you. Dave Schulzona.
Yeah.
They're asking me if I know somebody named Debbie.
Debbie.
Yeah.
Kinslow.
The name doesn't ring a bell. That doesn't mean I don't know who it is. It's just off the top of my head, it doesn't sound familiar.
Okay.
But hi, Debbie.
Thank you, Sonia, for the gifted membership to my channel. I appreciate that. I don't know if you guys, Sonia, she's obviously a Georgia Bulldog fan. She absolutely loves Brock Bowers, so
I would assume so. Yeah.
Yeah, I met her on another channel of a streamer that I watch that her and I are on there all the time, and she's awesome. Yeah, she absolutely loves Brock Bowers. So every time I pop in, she's like, how's my boy doing? So he's a little banged up right now. He got a little banged up in New England this weekend.
But he said he's going to play on Monday.
Yeah, he'll be good to go Monday night.
Yeah.
So let's
Thank
get
you.
to Monday. Hey, let's get to the season opener now, baby. We've talked New England. You know, we chopped it up. We lit on fire. We just burned up Boston. We did a Boston Tea Party. We went over there and we kicked the crap out of the Patriots. Okay. So now we come home to this home opener, and Rachel will be in the building, y'all. So what I want y'all to do, if you see Rachel out there, y'all gotta stop her, take a pic, make sure that you tag us in it.
I want to be
I'll be
almost
like,
in person. I really do. So if you see my little short self walking around with the Dickie shirt on for the same one for 3 days, please come introduce yourself. I will have our children with her, with me. Our 2 daughters, Naomi and Natalie, and we're going to be rooting for Genty because Genty was drafted. He went to the same university as our daughter. Boise
Oh,
State.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, so, you know, we're big
Nice.
Genty fans.
so,
Nice.
yo, make sure, remember, she's saying a little short person with the same Dickies jersey, with the same daughters walking around.
Walking around.
So, hey, we got Pandemonium on Fremont happening Saturday night, baby. This is a total free event, Raider Nation. You
Yes.
don't have to spend no dinero to go down to Fremont Street and enjoy the time with your family. Okay? We're going to have people.
Participate in the march. The more the merrier. We want to honor Gorilla Rilla, who has been around now for 30 years. Gorilla is just an amazing person. He's a beautiful soul. He was one of Rob's dearest friends. And, you know, I'm honored to call him my brother-in-law. He's just, he gives back to the community. He's a man of God. He loved his Raiders. And we're going to honor him this weekend for 30 years of his commitment to excellence. So,
Yes.
this one's for you on Monday night.
Man, I couldn't say it any better for that one.
Right?
Cheeto, let them know what's going on Sunday night, baby.
Sunday night, we got the Raider Nation Takeover Party. This year, it will be at Fremont. From what I heard, talking to Raiders Crusader Lorenzo, this is where they had the party when Too Short performed the year we played the Chargers on the win and get in game. So if you've been there before, you already know what it's going to be. It's packed, it's lit, it's going to be filled with people. Make sure you get your tickets on the Eventbrite. There's different levels, different tiers for you to go. Looks like it's going to be a great time, bro. And then that one starts at 7 p.m. on Sunday on Fremont.
All right. And that one's going to cost you guys a little bit of money, but don't worry, guys. If you don't,
Like I said, different tiers from general admission to VIP status to tables. It's all up to how you want to enjoy yourself at.
Yeah.
And for those of you not going to that party, we can kick it together on Fremont Street.
There you go. I'll be like, and that's the truth, guys. We're going to be having people everywhere. We got a little bit of something for everyone out there, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. We're just trying to do something where everybody can go out to go. We know that not everybody has all this excessive amount of money to go out to places and have drinks and all sorts of stuff. But you do have enough money to go out and do something for free.
And I did see earlier on the Fremont website that Sunday, I believe starting at 2, because it is Mexican Independence Weekend, they will be having themed performances out there. So there will be mariachi, there will be Latin music, there will be cumbias. And like you said, that all is free on the Fremont Strip, you know, when you go down there. So if you want to be part of that, take care of that. It's a big weekend. Canelo versus Crawford that weekend. You know, also fight night. There's just so much going on that entire weekend.
And this is all free, you said, right? Is that what it was, right?
Free except for the party Sunday night. Everything
Except
else
to go inside the party, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, correct.
Can we find free airfare and hotel and tickets for a guy from New England?
I'm still working on that for a guy from Colorado.
We're gonna work on that.
But guys,
driving me nuts watching all this stuff coming up about, hey, be here for this, hey, be here for that.
It's gonna be electric. Guys, what I want you guys to do also, if you guys do have problems with finding anything, make sure you hit up our boy Cheeto Linus, myself, hit up Jeff on our Instagram, Facebook, wherever it is. Hit us up. We will link you guys in. We will link you guys in with the Cisco kid. He will be out there.
Yeah.
Like giving you guys up-to-date information. I'll be like, we'll link you in with whoever we have to make sure that you are at where you want to be. That's what a Raider Nation's all about. That's what family does. And the Black Hole family takes care of their own. So, guys, make sure that you guys link in. Let us know anything you guys need. If you guys have any questions, thoughts, concerns, we also will bring those up to management and let people know up top that there are concerns down at the bottom. All right. So
if you ask me and I don't know the information, I will definitely find out for you. So
yep.
You have the majority of the flyers. I think I've sent them all to you. Yeah.
What else do we got?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Guys, just so you guys know, the tailgate is gonna be in J-Lot from J1 through J5 with our boy Mike Scott. He will be DJing.
You, but I
He
can
will
see
be
you.
having the party popping, and you know he always gets it on fire, baby. So make sure you stop in that section. We know we were gonna have Black Lot. We're working on it, guys. It is a Monday night game, so give us a little bit of time. But the Black Hole is working for y'all, and we still got a tailgate for y'all that's gonna be on and popping, and you already know it's gonna be fire.
Yeah, J-Lo will definitely be there. Those of you who know, you already go. The majority of the people do like to go out there. It is a night game, so it is going to start, I believe, the lot open till like around 3 or something like that because the game's at 7. Yeah, so be out there. We will definitely be out there. I'll be out there. I know some people from the Black Hole. You got the Wrecking Crew that will be out there. I know you had that flyer earlier, the tailgate with friends one. So definitely we will all be out there, getting ready to go into that stadium, bro, and black it out.
Rachel, will you be there?
Okay. At the game, I will be there at the game.
Nice.
Guys, make sure that if you see Rachel at the tailgate, you stop, you hound her down for a picture, and you make her feel like $1 million.
I'd love to get to meet as many people as I can. I'll probably be with Senor and Cisco most of the weekend. They're usually my bodyguards.
Okay, so that way I'll be able to find you quicker. I'll have a booth on Sunday, but when I see you with them, I'll make sure I know it's you. Yeah,
definitely.
Okay.
I'm excited to meeting some of you guys. Well, all of you guys, if not this home opener weekend, God willing, soon.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
So, Rachel, can you tell us about the first home opener weekend that the Black Hole ever had?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I probably don't remember. You're going a little way too far back, but I will tell you that it was so cool every time Rob would pick somebody to induct, into the Black Hole from Raider Legends. But one of my favorites that he inducted into the Black Hole was oh gosh, now I'm not going to think of his name. The repo guy from the TV show, Big Lou.
Oh, wow.
About that show. But we used to be hooked on that show. It was, you know what I'm talking about? Big Lou from Repo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he inducted Big Lou. He was a big Raider fan into the Black Hole. And actually on that same night, I was so excited to meet Big Lou. It was like, oh my goodness, can I have your autograph? It was so cool. And on that same night, he was supposed to induct George Lopez.
Oh,
and,
really?
Really?
Yeah. Let me say this. Fuck George Lopez. and you can tell him I said that because we also watched George Lopez's show back in the day. We're talking 15 years ago. We watched that show religiously. Love George Lopez. Found out, he was a big Raider fan. Rob arranged with George Lopez's people to come down to Ricky's. It was one of the, the parties, and he flaked.
Oh, wow.
Great. And Rob put him all over the flyers that he was coming, and he flaked, and people were pissed.
No way.
They thought
blame him to be pissed. Yeah,
they thought
definitely.
that Rob did that just to get people to come, but he did it.
Right.
And so from that day forward, in our house, we never watched George Lopez again. So fuck George Lopez.
You can't fuck that puto real quick. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That was terrible. Matter of fact, I think he ditched us for a J-Lo concert. Jennifer Lopez was in Oakland or something that night.
Wow.
And he went to the concert. Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. But I will tell you this. What I do remember is the best party. And probably Cisco, he's probably the best one to have footage of it, was the last party that Rob threw in Oakland. And we had, was that Coolio? Can't remember the guy. Now I'm having a freeze. I'm driving here in the mountains.
Fantastic Voyage, Coolio?
What'd you say?
Fantastic Voyage, Coolio?
I'm having a brain freeze. Sorry. That last party that we had in Oakland, I think we were to 600 people there at the Radisson Hotel. And,
we
had live bands. Rob always had some great lineups. We had the guy, Richard Bean, who sings from Malo, Suavecito.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was just amazing to see all the people that wanted to be a part of these events. And so, those are memories that, I'm going to cherish, but the best one, I think, had to have been the last one. 600 people, not a problem in the house, everybody just getting along. It was just so cool. So cool. Mama Lynch came.
Oh, okay. I think Elon said it was Joe Cooley that weekend.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And we had some guys from Tony play. Just had some amazing people over the years.
Ronnie O and Joe Cooley. Okay.
Ronnie O and Joe Cooley. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be a part of this and make this such a beautiful experience.
That is awesome.
I'll tell you this, for the wedding, we walked into the Raider theme song. Rob wanted all silver and black for the wedding, and I was like, oh, come on, like, really? I wanted purple. And he was like, okay, I'm going to give in to your purple, but we are walking in, every couple being announced to the Raider theme song. So
it was wow.
This is,
awesome.
25, 26 years ago, not too many people did that kind of stuff back then.
No, that's definitely interesting. I'd be like, I don't think I could convince my wife to be like, hey, you know what, babe, we're just going to walk into the Raiders theme song real quick. No worries.
Yeah.
I got married 34 years ago, and back then it was just the boring old, the Daddy's Little Girl song, and just the traditional wedding. It's just nobody had any imagination back then to come over with all these weird things and everything like they do now.
Oh, and I'll tell you one funny story. I used to work Sundays. I was a waitress back in my early days. And so, I worked at Applebee's in Hayward. And so I would often catch Rob being interviewed, at a tailgate. And so one day he thought he was bold, and he tells the news reporter, I told my wife we will never have children during football season. Well, let me tell you, he got blessed with 2 daughters in December, close to playoff.
What year were they born?
2003 and 2006.
Oh, okay. So they came after our playoff runs.
Yeah, so he had to eat his words there.
Oh yeah, look, see Rachel, he remembers. LB Raider 85. Hey Rachel, I was at Ricky's that night too. George actually ditched us to go see his boy Mark Anthony at the
Mark
arena.
Anthony, yeah, Jay Lopez, Mark Anthony.
So Raider fans yell, "Fuck that puto" too.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, whoever said that. I'm telling the truth. Yeah, Big Lou was there. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So
don't you just hate when people don't come when they tell you they're going to, huh, Jeff?
That was awful. That was horrible.
Man,
that. Yeah, but we've overcome that. But yeah, that was a tough one.
Hey, welcome aboard, Jay. He just signed up for he just got his black hole membership tonight.
Nice.
Welcome to the familia.
He's New Mexico, right? He's New Mexico.
Albuquerque area.
He's Albuquerque.
Okay.
I'll be down with Anthony Frederator.
Yeah.
So, is that where he's from?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So, Rachel, when you guys first started, did you guys ever think that this would get bigger than just like people in Oakland?
Well, let me just correct you on that. I wasn't a part of it. You know, I just want to make that clear. You know, that this was really Rob's thing. I was just a fly on the wall in the same household. You know, I never want to take credit for anything that I did not have a part of. But I appreciate your thoughtfulness and where you're going with that. But so just for that clarity, this was all Rob's thing and his team. I honestly have to say, I think Rob knew. I really do think that he knew that, or I should say I do know, because he would tell me, honey, this is big. We got something here. Like, people just, they love it. And he just had this vision that, to be honest, not a lot of people had that same vision. And people thought he was nuts.
No,
they really did. They're like, dude, really? Like, this is never going to be more than just a cool, fun ass tailgate with, maybe 100 people, and, his closest friends thought he was, like I told you in the beginning, he was always the goofball. So right. they knew Rob had this vision, and they all, each and every one of them gave him, how should I say that? They gave him their blessing and just let him run with it. Whether they thought he was crazy or not. And I kind of thought he was crazy myself.
That makes sense.
It's like, who could ever really imagine that we were going to be where we are today?
That's cool.
But I think Rob always knew. He just always felt that in his heart. And so everything he did was his passion for the team. And, how hurt he was when that team up and left and just ripped a hole in his heart.
Oh, I can imagine.
He was out there trying to fight to keep this team in Oakland with the powers that be. He was at every meeting there was in the city. He took my daughter with him, to meet all these council people and do what he could to gather people. And there was other people involved too. Many other fan groups that were a part of that, and everybody did their part. But, he fought with all his heart and soul to do what he could to keep the team in Oakland, but it obviously didn't work. So here we are today in Vegas.
Yeah. You said that he was part of a group that wanted to hold the team in Oakland.
Oh, yeah.
He was at every meeting. how was that time as like in the household? I'd be like, was it a real stressful time for you guys at that time?
The whole 25 years was stressful. It was stressful. Being with the record that this team had for many years. And I mean, just like you guys too, Rob was like a firecracker. If you dare talk shit about his team, like I couldn't take him nowhere. I had to be like, honey, they're just, don't pay attention to them. They're just getting on you. Oh, his feathers would be ruffled. And so that was hard. The losing streaks was hard. Watching him sacrifice what he had to keep the black hole going. I mean, it wasn't easy. It was not easy. People got jobs, people got to work, got to pay the rent, and at the same time try to keep this going. Towards the end before they moved, again, he wasn't the only one. There was lots of fan groups out there going to rallies and going to, city council meetings and, trying to put things together. Everybody did what they could, but it just wasn't meant to be, I guess.
Yeah.
And so
But
literally,
I don't want
to start crying, but literally on his deathbed, you all know he suffered a tragic death from COVID. He was on his deathbed trying to make things happen in Vegas. He was only able to go out there maybe twice before he passed. Once the team had moved, trying to make those connections and start the whole process for keeping the black hole alive in Vegas. And COVID got the best of him. So, he tried until his last breath to make this happen. And so that's why for me, it's so important that I see this. It's all I want to see. When I went to Vegas a few months ago, almost a year now, and I saw that logo up in the lights, and, thanks to Mark Jones, who's making all this happen. And I saw that logo up there in the clubs and everything. I just was talking to him and I was like, honey, you made it. You made it. You're here. And it's just going to continue to grow, God willing. And my other hope is that we can make more and more things happen for the benefit of our fans, because the fans have really paid the price in one way, shape, or form with this team being uprooted more than once. With the prices, like we're all talking about. Shit, I could barely afford to go to Vegas. I got to save my cans, and that's no joke.
Ain't no lie.
I got a nickel and dime it myself. But that's okay. I'm blessed alive, and I'm blessed to have air in my lungs, and I'm blessed to have, 25 years worth of memories with my husband. So yeah, to answer your simple question, it wasn't always easy. A lot of turns and ups and downs, and so much going on with this team over the years. And just a lot of beautiful memories, from meeting players, Raider legends, Raider alumni, meeting Coach Gruden. Oh my gosh, that was like my favorite thing ever. And the Black Hole actually back in like 95, 96, well, not 95, probably more 96, 97, used to have charity softball games against the Raiders here in Hayward, California.
We need to restart that.
Yeah. Those some beautiful memories going out there watching these OG Black Hole members playing against the Raiders, for a good cause. That was when Coach Gruden first came on. Was pretty amazing. pretty cool.
Man, I didn't
Yeah,
even
sorry
know
if I
that
get a
happened.
little choked up.
I didn't know we used to have events like
Oh,
that, like
yeah,
charity
yeah.
softball thing. Like, and those are things that I'm like, man, whatever happened to that
Oh,
tradition? I'd be like, my old ass can
you
go out
know,
there and win
when
the softball.
I never forget. Gosh, this was probably about 97, maybe 98. We had one of the rookie players on the team that year. His name was Grady Jackson. It was him and a few others came over to. It was him and three, I think 2 or 3 others, rookies that year, came over to my aunt's house. My cousin Dave Monzo, who was one of the originals. We were all barbecuing at my aunt's house in Hayward, and those rookies came and were playing football with my little cousins and all the little kids from the neighborhood playing football in the middle of the street. Who can say that? Who can say that any rookie players from the NFL are chilling, in the hood playing football with the local kids? Like that's pretty awesome. And we shared that memory. And so Grady Jackson actually became he stood with the team for a few years before he went to I want to say the Saints. But he became very close and personal friends with Rob and a few others of the originals. He'd bring his wife over. We had spaghetti. One of the originals' wives, she was an excellent cook. Her name was Brenda. And, she'd make dinner and, we'd kick it with some of the rookies, like who could say that? We're so honored that they wanted to take time to be with us and still keep in contact to this day. To this day, we still keep in contact with some of the Raider alumni on a personal level.
Yeah.
The friendships, I know you guys all are familiar with JT the Brick, but he's a dear friend of our family, a dear, close and personal friend of Rob's. And that started back in Oakland when his career was first starting, and we do anything to support JT, and he does the same for us, and his wife, a beautiful soul. Just so many friendships that have been built, and people just becoming family over the years.
What's your favorite memory that you like cherish the most?
Ooh, I'd say that trip to San Diego. Yeah. And matter of fact, one of our most recent presidents, Steve Dominguez, and his wife, Janet, they're out in Boise, where my daughter is. Yeah, they just started their chapter a few months ago. They're one of the originals, and I was on that trip with them to San Diego. So they have some of the original pictures. But that trip to San Diego was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah, that's probably one of my best memories.
Well, Rachel, we've taken quite a bit of your time, lady.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
I am honored to be here with you guys.
Rachel, you're always more than welcome.
Yeah, this is great, you coming on here. We really appreciate that. You're a sweetheart. I can't wait till I can meet you in person.
Oh, thank you. And if ever you have a chance and you look at that picture that I sent to Will, again, nobody else has that picture unless you have a newspaper clipping from 30 years ago. Again,
it's saved on my computer now, so
that single moment, changed the trajectory of my husband's life, which led him to taking the idea back to his crew of, guys, we got something here. And now here we are 30 years later, and you guys are a part of it. That's
I
to me, that's
I don't
beautiful.
regret anything. I don't regret anything at all by joining and doing what I've done so far. I'm absolutely ecstatic being part of this. I really am.
And you guys are really an
I love it.
inspiration to everybody who's out there because you're doing the groundwork now. In your local area, and like I said earlier, I know how hard that is. It takes a lot of work.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not easy. So those of you who are running your chapters, bless you in what you're doing, and you're a true inspiration to everybody who's out there. So thank you.
Thank you for the support. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And
And guys, what I want you guys to do is, hey, please, if you guys haven't had the chance to listen to the whole podcast, go back and listen to this. If you're a part of the black hole, know what it is that you're wearing, man. You see that
Yeah.
emblem? You see that, the shield behind me with the logo and everything. Rachel is telling you guys what exactly it means to wear that logo on your chest. Wear it proudly and make sure that when you see your brother and your sister out there, you show them love, you give them a hug, and you show them what the black hole is all about, baby.
And I want to add on to that by saying I want to talk about that logo.
yeah, go for it.
And I want to say this very clearly, very passionately. To me and those who have been around the black hole for a long time, I want you to wear that logo with pride. And I want you to wear it with pride because of the meaning behind it, of where it comes from and what it represents, not who was paid to create it.
Nope.
Okay? Because let me ask you this question on this podcast. Do you know who created the McDonald's logo? Do you know who created the Nike logo? The Under Armour logo? Probably not, because you don't give a fuck. Okay? Do you get my point?
I do.
We're not going to mention no names because I'm not going to go down that road. But what
That's
I
fine.
will
You
say
got it.
is that logo is important to me, no matter who got paid to create it. So I will continue to wear that logo because that logo represents my husband.
That's his legacy. That's part of his legacy.
Thank
It's
you.
part of
And
his legacy.
we're all a part of it. We're all a part of it now.
Yep. This is something that will outlive all of us. This logo, it should never be changed. There's certain things that should never be changed. And a logo for an organization that was inspired by a single person doing what they did to start all this should never be changed. Just like the Raiders logo. That should never change.
Right.
That's when you're gonna stop losing fans, is if they move to like Tallahassee and they become a Tallahassee seaweeds or whatever. Instead of Raiders. Once they change their name and the logo, that's it. My ship is sailed. I'll see you later.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something I love what Rachel said, man. It's not about who created the logo. It's not about who wants power, who wants this. It's about what it represents.
Yep.
And that's where you have to have pride in what you're wearing. So, guys, hey, every time you see this. Remember this lady right here, and remember her husband's legacy and all the sacrifice, all the work that this man put in. Even on his deathbed, he was sitting there thinking about us, thinking about the future, thinking about the legacy that he's leaving behind. And that's what we are. We are the legacy that Black Hole Rob has left behind, baby.
Yep.
I even got the logo in my kitchen right here. I keep him with me at all times. Right next to the wall, or on the wall, I should say there. Yeah. So no, I just.
Make sure you guys go back. Make sure you guys go back and watch this because she took you to school tonight. You got a history lesson tonight. Seriously, all respect to Rachel and everything that you told us tonight. I mean, I learned things I didn't know before.
Oh.
And, I think that's important, for you guys to know, what you're a part of, and the way that you guys are contributing to it is just, it's meaningful. Everybody plays an important role. you know, and Rob couldn't have done this alone, but you know, he spearheaded it. That's for sure.
Yeah. You always tell people to learn your history of your team. Know your past on the team. You know,
Yeah.
and just like this, you're part of this organization. Learn that history of this organization, so you know where it started, where it came from, and because you don't realize that sometimes it means something to somebody. Like, I see how passionate you are and how much this means to you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I see why you react the way you do when certain things go on, and you know it affects you on a personal, deep level. And not only do we have to protect the logo, we got to protect you too, and your husband's legacy and your legacy, because you're part of this too. You've been there from day one, you know.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you and everything that you've been a part of. You know, the
Thank
short
you.
time that I've met you, and I've seen you on the president's meetings, and I appreciate everything that you've done and your support. You know, your
Thank you.
support helped
And
with
when
this. It means a
your
lot.
ladies start to get on your case, say, hey, if Rachel could put up with it for 25 years, so can you.
You know, she put up with me in the fire service for 35 years, and then 20 years of 18 years of the Booster Club, and now she's in this with me. But she's in deep with this one. She's heavily invested in this one, so she's all in.
That's
So,
wonderful to hear.
yeah, she's. I'm telling you, she's my rock. So she's to me like you were to Rob. You know,
Yeah.
like she takes it
That's
personal.
what a marriage is about, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
she
sir.
takes it personal when someone starts giving me crap about stuff like, you know, about the organization and everything. She'll debate them. She's my pit bull.
Oh, I
love
know. I can't tell you how many times I had to pull Rob back, literally, like, please, honey, just don't
Yeah.
don't punch him, please. Just
Yeah,
don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. It's okay.
So, hey, but I'm going to let you guys know in a little secret. We are going to be having Rachel, you know, drop us some knowledge bombs on the history of TBH. We're going to be having her come back on and tell us like the history. She is the history book of TBH, and we cannot
And
wait.
I'm actually surprised I was able to do it tonight. Like I said, you know, people have been knocking down my doors for years, and I just, you know, I talk to Cisco like a couple times a week, and for years we weren't even able to have a conversation without us really breaking down and crying. It really hasn't been since probably the last 6-7 months that we're able to have a conversation and not need a box of Kleenex. You know, so
I mean, you're getting to me because I'm a big softie. So I mean, you were getting to me. So trust me, I felt it on this end, and I never even knew the gentleman. You know, I just see you and how emotional and how, you know, passionate you are about everything, and I get it. I get it 100%. You know, and Dawn gets it too. You know, so and she knows how much this means to me.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
And that's why I just, you know, I just always sat back and, you know, this was Rob's thing, you know, and I just, you know, let him do his thing and participated when I could, you know, but I just, you know, always let him do his thing. And this is what became of it. And sometimes that wasn't always easy, right?
you're a very proud wife, 100%.
Yeah, you know, it's like, really,
and I never
football
met you.
again? I thought football was only on Saturdays. Then it turned into Mondays and Thursdays and my goodness, like
Oh, this is year round.
Yeah.
oh yeah, totally.
Never ends. But
Well, guys, I
you,
think
you got any final words you want to give Rachel before we call it a night, or anything else you want to add?
let them know, Rachel. Let them know right now.
Let him know right now.
Yeah.
No, I said I don't think you heard me. I said, there any last words you want to say before we part ways tonight, or anything you want to add? Final thought.
You know, once again, I just want to say thank you to everyone. I'm just truly humbled. I can't express it any other way. How humbled I am for all of you and all of those out there that are just members and you know, just getting started. I mean, I'm just so humbled that you guys even want to be a part of this. I'm still amazed, you know, 30 years later. So what I want to part with is just say thank you and wear black. Don't come to the game wearing a white jersey with black writing. That doesn't count. It's gotta be black. Gotta be black.
You heard it.
Anything you good, Will? You got anything?
Guys, what I want to do is just make sure that you guys know again, Fandemonium. We got it Saturday night. It's a free event by the Black Hole for the Black Hole for Raider Nation, for all of us to go out there and unite on Fremont Street. You're going to see a show. You're going to have the lights. You're going to have the zip lines flying around. You're going to have a whole bunch of Raiders fans just hanging out, having a good time on Fremont Street. On Sunday, like Rachel said, you'll have Raiders fans all over Fremont Street still. So go on out there and support. Hit your people up. We're going to have the tailgate at J Lot, J1 through 5. We're going to have parties on Sunday night. We're going to have all sorts of crazy stuff. And it's all for you guys, Raider Nation. It's not for us. It's all for the family. And like, again, the Black Hole is all for its people. All the Black Hole events are free.
I got a question. What's the weight limit on the zip line? That's an important question. Because if you haven't noticed, we got some big boys in this organization and Raider fans in general. Because I saw quite a few this weekend. I was still bigger than them, but there's some big boys.
Good.
That's a legit question before somebody busts their butt to climb up those stairs to get up there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're 20 pounds too heavy."
Hey, you get an elevator. Just take the elevator if you're a big boy. You don't want to walk those steps. But
you got any shows coming up, Will? You good?
Yeah, I'll have some shows coming up. I mean, like, we'll be dropping them. I have so much video content from New England, guys. Make sure that you guys are following the page. Make sure that you guys are following all the information. I mean, like, we're going to be putting on a ton of information as things come out. Blackouts. We have clubs coming up. We have so much stuff. My plate is full right now, man. I mean, like, we will be putting out a bunch of stuff for you guys.
All right. As far as on my end, tomorrow night, the Raider Connection, myself, Leo, Cheeto Linus, Jay, Just Raiders Baby, who's in the chat with us right now, and my guy LB Raider 10, who was out here with me in New England celebrating this past weekend. Him and I will have some more stories tomorrow night about.
Shoot, I might even jump in. I didn't know.
Huh?
I might even jump in
Thursday night. You can come in Thursday night. But tomorrow night we will. I know tonight we didn't discuss the game. Tomorrow night we will definitely discuss the game on a different aspect than what we did tonight. Tonight was about the Black Hole. That's all that mattered tonight. Was that. We talked a lot about Rob and learning about the Black Hole. But tomorrow night we will be talking about the game itself, and we will preview Monday night against the team from.
Chargers.
I don't want to say their name. And then Thursday night, myself and Nate, we will have even more stories. We'll probably have Will on Thursday night, and I'm gonna try and get Mike from Raw on, and we're gonna rehash everything that we did on over the weekend, because it was the four of us that were pretty much together the whole time out there. So look forward to it. Rachel, we love you. Thank you for coming on with us tonight.
Spreading the aloha. Spread the aloha.
You know it. We love you, Rachel. Thank you so much for coming on.
God bless all of you. And God willing, we get to meet in person soon.
Definitely. And as I always say, everybody stay safe and go Raiders.
Amen.
Raiders.
Trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
And I approve this message. Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders. Just win, baby, win, baby, win, baby. We are the Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders. Just win, baby, win, baby, win, baby. Don't need no invitation. We are that Raider Nation. We rock that black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. touchdown. Let's throw a bomb on first down. Let's throw a bomb on every down. First we score, then we clown. Having fun, look around. Nobody loud as a Raider crowd. Nobody proud as a Raider crowd. NFL, how you like me now? We gon' do this open style. None but action. I'm Bo Jackson, hit the hole. Run you over, goal line. Jumping over, going crazy. Lose your soul, lose your mind in the black hole. Here's the goal, Super Bowl. And everybody here, get